Blog Talk Radio.
10 years ago, a crack commando unit was sent to prison by a military court for a crime they didn't commit. These men promptly escaped from maximum security stockade to the Los Angeles underground. Today, still wanted by the government, they survive as soldiers of fortune. If you have a problem, if no one else can help, and if you can find them, maybe you can hire LCS Hockey.
LCS Hockey Radio Show, brought to you as always by BackpagePress.com and by the #1 non-updated hockey site in all the land, LCSHockey.com. LCS, trying to feed Dell's cats. All right, real quickly here, Mike Dell. I just wanted to, I got to play the music right here and say,
one guy loves the Disney Channel and LaBass. One guy loves man faces and the good bean. Put them together, and you have the LCS Hockey Radio Show. Barely trying since 2007.
I hit the wrong button, but either way. I just want to say, the first joke didn't come from me. All right, here we go. In a recent interview, Whitney Houston said, Grammy sweetheart Adele is confident that she's a great catch for any man.
Wait, was there a joke there, or did my phone cut out?
No, that was the end of it.
All right. Very good.
All right. Thank you to 18 No Axe for that. Grammy sweetheart Adele is confident that she's a great catch for any man, insisting that she'd be a great wife in both the kitchen and the bedroom, but probably more the kitchen.
Well, why does everybody have to make fun of her weight? Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not sure. How about this one, Don? While converting an old bank into a new restaurant, celebrity chef Jamie Oliver found $1.1 million in gold and cash in a number of safety deposit boxes that were discovered by builders.
What's my dream, Larry? What's my dream?
To find a big box of money.
That's right. And this guy, he's already rich, and he found a box of money.
And apparently, like inside, there was like master tapes for the band New Order in one of these. He found a gun, all kinds of jewelry and gold. They said about $1.1 million.
Yeah, that'd be mixed feelings if I opened up a box, found money, and then New Order tapes. I don't know.
No, master tapes.
Yeah, I'd be tempted to close up the box and put it back in the wall. Walk away.
Yeah. Anyways, blah, blah, blah. When reached for comment, Jamie said, "This is awesome."
Wait, was there a joke there? I don't know.
Yes, because that guy lisps all day.
Oh, there was a lisp involved.
Yeah. This is awesome.
Oh, okay. See, I was, with the phone, I can't hear. But
you took me right out of that joke.
Yeah, I don't think anyone would have got it anyway, because unless you're familiar with Jamie Oliver's lisping, and you're familiar with the fact that you just lisped, even though no one could tell, then, the joke's going to have some problems.
It killed the momentum of it, A. And B, a lot of people know who Jamie Oliver is. Other people have channels other than, Turner Classic Movies. And, oh, hey, real quick, though, speaking of which, I wanted to tell you, do you get the Hallmark channel?
Yeah, I think so.
Because I'll tell you this much. You're going to like it, Mike Dell, because this is what Nick watches when she goes to bed, so it's on all night at my house.
Oh, yeah, Golden Girls always used to be on it, right? Yeah, I used to watch Golden Girls.
Right. Listen. I think of you every night when I wake up.
I'm sure you do. Every time you get in bed, you think of me.
I sleep poorly, so I wake up, 8, 10, 12 times a night. But on this Hallmark channel overnight, they got the Golden Girls, they got Cheers,
they
got
Cheers,
Frasier, Bob Newhart, and then Lucy. It's like, isn't that like your whole lineup of awesomeness right there?
Well, Frasier I don't like.
And, you don't like Frasier? Yeah, I hate Frasier.
Now, which Bob Newhart, the original or the
the Bob Newhart show?
Oh, that's the best, the Bob Newhart show.
Yeah, not Newhart, but the Bob Newhart show.
Newhart's very good, but the Bob Newhart show, it's the best. Yeah.
Yeah, I normally don't watch any of it, but it was on the other day. By the way, Solani scored.
Hey, what's the score? Yeah, we always like to give scoring updates on podcasts.
Yeah,
so,
2-1. They're losing.
2-1.
Ducks.
Ugh.
10 minutes to go, Mike Dell. 10 minutes to go. All right, anyways, big show tonight, Mike Dell. Our sponsor's going to be on tonight. So that means
be on your best behavior.
Be on our best behavior? Yeah. All right. So, he's here. So you want to introduce him? Because you're good at that sort of thing.
Yeah, sure. Everyone's familiar with Backpage Press, the fine T-shirts. And you've heard this fella on the Ed Show. He was on with me in the Ed. You've never actually talked to him, Larry.
No, I never did. No.
Yeah, you are one of his best customers. Your whole wardrobe is nothing but Backpage Press T-shirts.
Yeah, I do. I do have quite a bit. Yeah.
Yeah. And we're going to talk to him about making some pants because you leave the house every day in just a T-shirt.
Yeah.
It's really shameful. But it's my great pleasure to introduce Cory Seymour, Backpage Press. Cory, are you there?
What's up, fellas?
Hey, thanks for calling into the big show. I appreciate it.
No problem. It's a pleasure to finally be on.
Yeah, now you are our sponsor. Is that like a great honor for you? Do you, get a lot of prestige?
Crowning achievement, yes.
Yeah. Yeah, because, I'm sure we brought literally dozens and dozens of people to your door. But,
well, Larry makes up for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think, we've sold up to one shirt because of us.
Yeah.
So, you're welcome.
No.
Not counting Larry.
Larry's bought about 8. We did 2 with the omelet promotion.
Nice. Yeah, the omelet promotion, yeah.
Oh, yeah, the omelet.
The omelet promotion did well for a couple days, and then all the kids from the message board.
Yeah, all the DamageCheck.com kids are checking in on the Backpage Press. Now, let's give a little history lesson for those who didn't hear you on the Ed Show before. How did you get in? Why T-shirts? What inspired you to make T-shirts? Why not pants? Why not one-piece jumpsuits? Why T-shirts?
I can't get a good deal on the one-piece jumpsuits. I can't find anybody that supplies them anymore. Pants.
That's thanks because it looks like it was going to be the clothing option of the future, the one-piece jumpsuit. You just zip it up.
It's the material. You just can't print it nicely. Yeah. The T-shirts was just something to. I was always an artist, and I never knew what to do with it. What really are you going to do with a art degree or a painter?
Yeah, that's right.
It's really senseless that you're going to be a starving artist, and I have a deep found obsession with T-shirts for probably since about 1988, 89, buying sports T-shirts and heavy metal T-shirts, and I got sick of buying them, so I just started making them my own.
Nice.
So that's about it,
Now, when did Backpage Press officially open its doors as a business?
It was December 27th, 2007, I think.
Yeah, 2007.
2007, 2008. I think it's 2008 more like it, though. I think it's about 4 years ago. I dabbled around a couple
years. And what was the first T-shirt you made?
Was the very first T-shirt was some just random stuff, and I toyed around with it for about a year and a half, and I did a lot of research and saw what other people would do, and I would go on independent, like on Big Cartel on that network that I'm on, that the store's on. There's a lot of independent artists on there, and I would look and see what they were doing and kind of decide what I wanted to do, and if I wanted to make it all Pittsburgh-based and be a hometown homer, or if I wanted to kind of do some of my own artwork and sports. So obviously I settled on doing everything, and that's what Backpage was. And, the first one was the Mongo Noonan one that I just redid and put out last week, and then the second one was Carlin. And,
yeah, George Carlin, yeah. Now, for people who don't know what... Yeah, Larry's got the Carlin one. For people who don't know what the Mongo is, that's like your monkey mascot, your ape mascot, right?
You're right. You like that one.
Yeah, I do. I need to get me a manga one. Now, Larry had a question about your Pittsburgh influence, because, Larry, you're upset that a certain other city is featured in the Backpage Press.
Yeah. What's up with all the Boston? What's going on? I hate it already. I don't even understand.
I'm sure you do. I've thought about that before. Everybody hates it. Now, because, you know what, I was a Pirates fan probably since about 1986, and by 1992 I just couldn't take it anymore. It was too much. That Sid Bream crap that has come up in recent, lore. I remembered that stuff the whole way through the 90s, and nobody ever talked about it. And then right around 98, 99, it started coming back up again. And, it just opened up an old wound. But point being, I started following the Sox about 93. And they had, yeah, I'm sure you love that one. Mike Greenwell and Mo Vaughn and all those guys. And
Noma.
Yeah.
Noma. Yeah.
Noma. And so I just started, I started, Boston seemed like a parallel city. I mean, I could make excuses till I'm blue in the face, but, I started going for the Sox, and then by the 2000s, the whole history and everybody getting behind them, and kind of was nauseating at that point, too, because, it was all bandwagon fans. But, I actually met some people up when I went up to school near Pittsburgh at Cal. I met some people from Boston, and I've retained friends with them. And especially last year when the Pens went out and the Bruins were still playing, it kind of was a dilemma for me, because am I going to, let everybody know that I'm kind of swinging both ways on this, and, I'm not going to, I didn't want to give up watching hockey at that time, and I had a bunch of ideas for Boston shirts, and I put them out, and it really ruffled a lot of feathers. But at the same time, I didn't really care, but I do.
Let me ask you this: do you own Fever Pitch on DVD?
I just threw up in my mouth.
All right, well, that's good. That's good enough.
Right.
Yeah, some of the Boston shirts you have on there, you got like one from Mark Recchi, who's a Pittsburgh fellow as well, so you get a little slack there. I think you have a Tim Thomas one, his goalie mask, but the one I really like is the Zdeno Chara one. Oh, that one's great. That's a great shirt. And then Cam Neely as well. You got a Cam Neely one.
Right. The Cam Neely one really got me in a lot of shit. I mean, that one.
Because of the old Samuelson connection?
Yeah. I mean, I was talking to Ken Laird on the Trib Live around March of last year, and he really let me have it for that one, and kind of took me off.
Cam Neely's one of the best players of all. He's great. You got to love Cam Neely.
Right, I think so too. And I get a lot of emails saying I got to pick either 66 or Cam Neely. I don't know why I have to pick, so I call bullshit on that.
Yeah,
I can't pick.
That is one thing I've noticed, though, on Backpage Press, a shocking lack of 66 T-shirts. Where are we going to get a Lemieux shirt?
Well, funny you should say this, and this is the same thing that happens with a lot of the Pittsburgh stuff. Like, the Boston stuff is almost easy to put out, because it's more like, well, the Tim Thomas is like, I made that, and it looked cool, and then they went on that playoff run, so I thought I better get it out. And the Pittsburgh ones are a little bit more nerve-wracking because I have my heart wrapped up into it, and I'm afraid to put out something that sucks. So I've had a Mario design for quite a while, and I'm just keep redoing it.
Well, feel free to run it by me, and I'll give it the thumbs up or the thumbs down, and then you'll know.
Well, funny you think that. I almost sent it to both of you a couple weeks ago, and then I looked at it, and, I wanted to get some feedback on it. I looked at it, and I thought, that sucks. I'm not putting it out.
You got to get a Lemieux shirt up there. That'd be great.
Well, he's getting that statue in March, so I'm thinking about putting it out around then.
Yeah, you got to make that happen. Now, we should mention that you do everything in your basement, right? And on the website, you still have the pictures up where people can check out your basement, like factory you got going down there?
Sure do. Yep, they're on the big happenings part on the main site on backpagepress.com, and they actually Mike Dell, you're the one who convinced me to put those out.
Yeah, you were like, well, people are going to think it's stupid I'm doing it out of... No, it's great that you're doing it out of your basement.
Yeah.
Larry, you've seen those pictures,
makes it
right?
better. Yeah, it makes
amazing.
it better. Yeah.
Well, I couldn't get my head around. I mean, I'm just a lonely guy in the basement half the time, and
Exactly right.
I was trying to, for the first 2 years, I was trying to put off an air like I was some big kind of T-shirt designer. Yeah. Right, and here it's just a basement in a townhouse.
Yeah, you want to be an everyman, you know? And, the working man's T-shirt guy, yeah.
Every shirt is handmade, you know, bam.
Every one of them.
That's you. Make
you put the design on yourself. Yeah, if you get a chance, go check out those photos. It really is remarkable. Like you can see all the silk screens and everything, and just the presses and everything else. It's great. I love it. And, yeah, no problem. Now, one of the other big things that got your attention, or at least that's how we heard of you, Larry, the first time we encountered you, was your work with our buddy Dave Damashek, and the show Public Shirts. Yeah.
That was it.
I guess you just started listening to Dave. Did you listen to him when he was here in Pittsburgh on The Fan? Or?
No, I heard that he was on. I found him on Bill Simmons' podcast, because I listen to the podcast when I'm printing all the time.
Yeah, of course, because you love Boston. You know, you love Boston.
That's where Larry's probably cringing right now. When I'm not listening to Boston Sportscast, I'm listening to Metallica. So,
good Lord.
2 strikes.
It's hard to say which one's worse. I really don't know.
I
think the Boston's definitely, Metallica at least has I like some of their stuff, but, I'm not crazy for them. The new stuff is terrible.
The very new album?
I would say anything after, And Justice for All I don't like.
Yeah, that's that's another one where I make excuses all the time, but I know in my soul that sucks.
Now, how did you feel watching that documentary about Metallica? What was that called, Larry?
Some kind of monster.
I don't know. Did you see that? Like the behind the scenes?
Oh, yeah.
So, did you respect them as fellas after watching that? Did you think, these guys are really cool?
I don't. I tell you what, that's another thing. That's the two sides. It depends on what day you're asking, because that was really taking down some macho male figures that I looked up to when I was a young kid, and made them into a bunch of quivering sissies. So,
materialistic douchebags, kind of, right?
Yeah, but you know what? In a whole, it exposed them. It exposed especially heavy metal as kind of it was just a sham.
Yeah, it's all business. They just care about money.
Yeah, it's all
and marketing.
It's all posturing.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Yeah, go ahead, Larry.
I wanted to ask Cory, when you saw some kind of monster, did you check in with Get Glue to let everybody know?
You love Get Glue. On the Twitter, the Backpage Press Twitter, you're always on Get Glue.
That is my biggest weakness. I never thought that I would even. I don't even tweet that much, but that Get Glue, I feel like I need to let everybody know what I'm watching.
Yeah, Larry was doing that for a while too. Now, Larry, you don't do it as much anymore.
I don't do it anymore. You have to have crates and crates of stickers. Like every sticker they've ever given away, you have to have 30 and 50 of them.
I don't know why they haven't. I don't know why I'm not sponsoring Get Glue. I don't know. I love that app. I don't know what it is about it. I found it. This must have been made for me.
Yeah, Larry used to get all the stickers, and then he'd decorate his folders and notebook binders.
I never got any stickers.
Oh, you never got it? I thought you wanted that Kaylee Cuoco sticker.
I never qualified. You have to achieve a certain amount in a certain amount of days, and I didn't get there.
That stinks.
I don't like this. Every time they could give me a Valentine's Day sticker last night, and I go immediately on. I mean, it's just kind of ridiculous. I go on Facebook immediately and delete it. It makes me self-conscious.
Now, have you ever actually gotten the hard copy in the mail? Because I know our buddy Lance has actually gotten stickers from them.
Really? I thought that.
Yeah.
I thought they were lying to me. They never sent me anything.
No, yeah, they actually mail you actual stickers of whatever it is you have won, or you know how whatever it works. You qualify for this sticker or whatever. They actually mail it to you, and you can stick it on your folders and stuff.
No, they never given me anything. They're really You
They
know,
should
I
be
check
getting
it.
checks and stuff.
I mean, I'm on there 6-7 times a day letting people know what I'm watching, and they haven't sent me anything. I was wondering.
Yeah, I want to get back to the music, but since we're on the Get Glue and the TV, what are some of your favorite shows to watch for those that don't follow you?
I know. Let's see. Right.
I could tell you.
Yeah, Larry could, because he's always on
Yeah, let me go on my Facebook page and let's see.
Yeah, pull it up. I don't even know offhand. You have to look at Get Glue. I have no idea. They the TV shows, I would have to say probably my favorite right now is Breaking Bad. That was probably
I've never seen it, and I've had a lot of people recommend it to me, and I just finished watching Deadwood. I watched all of Deadwood a couple weeks ago, so maybe I'll start. I was going to start on The Wire, and
The Wire, right?
See, I can't get into it, and then
I hate it.
Like maybe I'll go Breaking Bad. Maybe I'll try that one.
You got to try The Wire. I ended up buying all 5 seasons from the Chinese, bootleg, and they hooked me up real cheap over there, and I have all 5 seasons on there, and you have to watch them back to back though. Like you can't watch them like regular TV. Like if you're watching it while it was on, it's too hard to keep up on. You almost have to set your well, now that you have DVRs, it's a little bit different. But that I said probably The Wire is my favorite until Breaking Bad came out. Breaking Bad is just awesomely written. It's intense. Like it always keeps you waiting to see what happens. It's my favorite show since Cheers, probably.
Ah, since Cheers, Larry. Did you hear that?
Oh,
Cheers.
What a surprise!
Yeah, I love Cheers, and Larry hates it, but Cheers, it's great.
Ed Williams, he's the best.
Yeah. Now, Larry, did you find his Get Glue page or?
No, I wasn't really looking. It was being
okay. What else? Oh, do you watch The Mad Men?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, Larry always has to sing that annoying song every time I mention it. But, yeah.
I didn't like it at first.
Oh, I loved it right from the hop.
I didn't get it at first, and then
the song or the show.
No one gets the song, Larry. No one gets that
song. The song sucks.
The song's terrible.
Yeah, but the whole show. Now that I watched the first season, and I was like, I don't really like it. Then I watched the second season, and that hooked me. So
that's coming back in March. Get ready.
I can't wait. Yeah.
Now we talked a little bit about your love of music. You do love the heavy metal and the Metallica. Oh, and you even made a hockey T-shirt with the Metallica theme for Aaron Asham.
I did.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, the Enter Sandman kind of thing. Now, let's talk about that first. You met Asham, and you presented him with the T-shirt. So what's it like when you meet these athletes and you show them the T-shirts? Are they ever? They always seem nice, right? Or do they jerk around and say, "Hey, where's my cut of the money"? Anything like that?
No. You know what? You think they would though? And that's the bizarre thing is that I've done my research on it, and they can. I mean, they could come back and say, "Listen, we're going to sue you. You give me a cease and desist, or file a lawsuit against using their image." But I've tried to get every T-shirt I've made to the person, and I try to do it by just face to face. 1, out of respect, and 2, just so I know it gets to him. And the Asham one was probably the nicest, though. He's you would never even. There's something about hockey players that are 10 times different than baseball or football players. They're really everyday kind of guys. They're not pretentious in the least. They look like normal guys. When I met Asham, I think he was more excited than I was. Like him and Bork were there at a radio show. I was shitting bricks. I never really met any athletes, and here I was made a T-shirt with his likeness on it, and he apologized for hitting Beagle and knocking him out there in that Capitals game. So I didn't know if he was going to be into it. If he was going to be like, what, I'm embarrassed about that move. I couldn't imagine he was. Because of his reaction, which was the reason I made the T-shirt, but you never know. And I didn't know if he would be mad if I was using his image, and he couldn't have been nicer. And it was his idea to take a picture with the T-shirt out like that. And he was just a nice guy.
Now, did Phil Bork say, "Hey, where's my shirt?" Like you make a shirt about me, the old 2-9er? Come on, make an old 2-9er shirt, Phil Bork.
Well, the way I got hooked up with Asham is I was talking. I think that happened on a Thursday, and when he punched out Beagle, and then on Friday I got a couple tweets from people saying, you should make a shirt about that, and I was already thinking about it. And all day Friday, I was tweeting back and forth with people talking about ideas, and by Sunday I had it up right before the Steeler game, and I sold 7 of them by the fourth quarter. And when I looked at it, there's some stuff you look at and you hit the nail on the head, and some of them like the Lemieux shirt where I'm just like, I don't know,
Mm-hmm.
So I started emailing people. I think I emailed you, Del, is to see if you knew anybody, and you sent me to an ESPN guy, and I emailed him, and he was nice enough to send me back. He's like, him and 2-9er did a show at the Rivers Casino on Friday. So I got up enough courage to go down there, and I almost didn't get to go back. I got where they shoot it is in the restaurant, like way in the back. And I went up to the hostess and I said, I was just trying to be normal about it because I was nervous. I said, can I get a table? She's like, oh, it'll be 45 minutes. And I kind of turned around. I was like, shit, what am I going to do? And I'm mad at her. I just wanted to get I'm going to throw the shirt at him and run away. And I finally went up to him and I said, listen, I said, is there a radio show going on here with Aaron Asham and Phil Bork? She says, who are they? And I got real mad at that point. I was like, the Penguins. She's like, and she looked at her friend waitress girl and she says, are there Penguins here today? She says, yeah, I think so. And I was just nervous and mad. I was just fuming at this point. She takes me the whole way in the back, and there was about 12 people in the back, and there was Bork and Asham, and I just walked right up to Asham, and I said, excuse me, sir, I made this shirt for you, and blah, blah, blah. He was really confused, and he pulled it out and looked at it, and he says, look at this shit, over at the Bork. And Bork goes, that's really fucking cool. And that was it. I was probably, I was one of the best days I've ever had. I was really happy.
So was Asham a Metallica fan? Did he pick up on that right away?
I don't know if he was more. That's more me in that one. I don't even. I think Brian Metzer helped me with the idea with that, and it just kind of fit with the Enter Sandman thing. And I don't know if he likes Metallica or not, but I think the imagery is what sold that one. Even if you don't really like Metallica, it's kind of like a early 90s, retro thing, and it just fit with him knocking Beagle out and doing the whole sleeping thing. And I think he got it. And I always wonder what he thinks of it. He was really, we watched the show, one of my friends, and then I went up and talked to him and Bork afterwards, too, and he thanked me up and down. I thanked him, and I always wonder, one of the Clear Channel producers came up to me and was like, you want to come on our show or, do a promotion. I never heard back from them, and I didn't really push it. But it was a pretty awesome experience. So I got one to McCutcheon, and then Recchi was more than nice. I met him down at the Gate with the Greats in, I think it was in November or December. And he was really cool. He remembered the shirt because that was another thing. The Boston connection comes from one of my friends that works for ESPN Boston. So any of the Boston shirts I made went directly to the players. So Timmy Thomas has one. Recchi had one. Tyler Sagan. Chara doesn't have his yet.
Chara's was great. Like, how big of a size would you have to get for Chara, though?
I don't even know if I can make one, because even if I would say he would be a 3X, but those are really wide, and he's just a tall, crazy-looking Russian. So I don't know what
Slovak.
sizes.
Yeah, Slovak.
It's the crazy Slovak. I don't know what size they wear, but I don't think I have it, so I'd have to make them a special one.
Hey,
That'd be cool.
Did you know Chara played for the Islanders?
I did, and that's really, somebody paid me to make that. They really wanted a Shepard Fairey O'Day style, and I'm a straight disciple of Shepard Fairey, and I was like, no, I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. And
I don't even know what that means. What kind of style was that?
It's an artist. You remember the Obama Hope poster?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He did that. So that kind of 3-color tonal design.
Yeah, all right.
And he's real popular now. He's a big influence on me. And I just made it like I was never going to rip that off because everybody does. And just right after they won the cup, the guy from Boston that was hooked up through one of my friends up there kept emailing me, wanting me to do it. And I was like, no, I don't want to do it. This might be the straw that breaks the camel's back if I do another Bruins shirt. And eventually I just became a complete whore, and he gave me enough money that I made it.
Nice.
So.
Yeah, but it's a great shirt. And, well, before we get on, because I want to get to your top 11, I know you compiled a top 11 for us. But let's talk real quick about the music again. You used to work as a roadie and stuff, right? Traveling around with bands and stuff?
I did. I'm glad you said that, because when I was on hold, they were playing on the hold music. Is that a coincidence, or
No, that's I cut that up today. The Super Suckers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used that as our intro music tonight. The Super Suckers, "Sleepy Vampire" is the name of the song.
Well, I was wondering, because I didn't recognize that song. So, yeah, you used to tour with them, right? Or go around?
That was Eddie Spaghetti wrote that song for his wife. That was the lead singer. I used to work for the Super Suckers. I was a roadie for about a year. I used to live out, and I moved from Cal U in Washington County in Pennsylvania to Park City, Utah, to work in Sundance. And I ended up beating them when I was working in a bar out there. And I could lift heavy things, and I liked music, and I partied with them, and they offered me a job, and I did it like they kept saying it was an internship, which just meant I was working for free. Yeah. And I would go to, like, I was the merch guy at first, and then once they knew I was reliable, then I started touring with them, and I'd set up the stage and set up the merch booth and make sure people were paid and people were on the van, and there was a bunch of guys in a smelly Econoline with a trailer, and they were a band from Seattle, national touring act, and they opened up for Pearl Jam and Social Distortion and various other kind of hard rock and rockabilly bands like that.
Yeah, no. Did you meet any other big famous musicians along the way?
It was such a cool experience. It really it shaped a lot of what I do with the T-shirts. I'm a huge rock music fan, and I was just geeking out half the time. Like, they're telling me stories about Kurt Cobain and Eddie Vedder, and the whole grunge thing was right in my wheelhouse. It was, and they were part of that. They were a trendy sub-pop band, and I just was completely enamored the whole time. And it almost ruined it, though, because it was so unglamorous that it wasn't even funny. Like, there were some dark, dark times. There was a lot of just substance abuse and debauchery, and that would sound like fun, but it really,
not so much.
When it's staring at you right in the face, it's not that fun. And they were all shit. They were probably 34 or 35 when I worked for them. So I was 26. So it was different kind of life, different lifestyles at that point. But I worked hard for them, and it got to the point where I was like, do I really want to lift up amps and sell T-shirts for the rest of my life? And I made the decision, and I stopped. And I did probably, I toured the whole way down through, like the whole way down the East Coast, down the whole bottom part of America, then back up into Vancouver and Victoria, just stuff like that. I often kick myself because I could have gone over to Europe, the next one, right before I quit, but, you know, it just was time. But a lot of cool stories. I look back on it, and you don't remember all the kind of hazing and
hazing? Wait a minute. What kind of hazing did you have to go through?
Paddling and...
Oh, no.
It was weird. It was like, because I was really not into being yelled at, you know, and you know, and that's kind of what I didn't realize, and it's much, you know, I hate to use, you know, compare the two, but the first word that comes out of my mind is a fraternity, and you kind of have to prove yourself to them that you're worth, you know, you can hack it and you're worthwhile, and there was a lot.
No, I'm going to make a Mr. Show reference, but I hope it wasn't like a Wicked Scepter or anything, right?
It wasn't like Wicked Scepter.
All right, very good. All right.
Yeah.
Check out my weenus. Isn't it rad?
So, yeah, it's another thing we have in common with Cory. We love Mr. Show, all of us. We love the Mr. Show. So
now, when you were on tour, did you ever get to meet like Michael J. Fox?
No, I always ask, but no, I met the dad. The dad from Family Ties was always around.
Him, yeah.
Michael Gross.
Yeah, Michael Gross. I forgot his name. No, you know what? I never got too close to the anybody that was really famous. You never got close to them. You run into them here there. Seal?
Yeah, Seal. Did you meet Seal?
No, I don't even.
Doesn't sound like that great of a tour. I'll be honest with you. No Michael J. Fox, no Seal. I don't even know what you're.
What about Hanson? Larry's a big fan. He toured with Hanson for a little bit. He was a roadie for Hanson.
Larry did.
Yeah.
In my dreams.
That's crazy. So with Hanson, did they do a lot of like smack?
Oh, they did coke off each other's asses. It was crazy. It looked like the Human Centipede, but you know, when they were backstage. It's weird.
I have never seen that movie yet. I really am not looking forward to it. I think I need to watch it just to get references, but
Larry, you saw it, right?
I turned it off.
But not because it was so disturbing, just because it's so stupid, right?
Both. It's disturbingly stupid.
So
it's pretty bad. I hate it. I hate it so much. I just, you know, the sequel, and I don't know. It's too much for me.
Sew each other to each other's butts?
It's kind of like no, it's kind of this doctor. He kidnaps these 3 kids, and he surgically connects them through ass to mouth, and then like he kind of links the intestines to all of, you know, from the first guy to the last girl or whatever. So that, you know, when the first guy eats, the last girl shits, and it's a whole mess. You know what I mean?
Lord in heaven! Oh,
yeah. They all walk in unison, and it's weird.
And why Disney ever made that movie, I'll never know. It just seems like,
Yeah.
But anyway.
Bad choice.
Yeah. Now, all right, Cory, the top 11 list tonight.
Yeah.
You prepared a list of the top 11 tackiest or worst T-shirt designs, correct?
I did. I've been working on it for about 3 days.
Because you are a T-shirt expert and a T-shirt aficionado, so this will be great to see. Now, Larry, do any T-shirts right away pop to mind that, that's a lousy T-shirt?
No, I don't want to say anything because I might own like 4 of these things. Whatever.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. If I hear
go ahead,
female body inspectors on your list, I'm going to be very upset.
I do have it on there. Where is it? I think it's at
all right, well, no, don't reveal yet. Let's start at 11 and work our way up. So what do you got at number 11?
All right. Let me tell you, this is I've been just suffering over this list since Monday, and I actually had subgenres on here. Like I had so many that I had to put like an outline, like writing a paper. So some of them have an A and a B to them. But number 11, I have Big Johnson.
Oh,
Big Johnson?
Man.
Yeah, I'm going with Big Johnson. I actually, my first Canadian customer ever threw that one out there on Twitter on Sunday, and I had to go with it. They stayed around for way too long.
See, I can't even visualize this T-shirt. It's just a T-shirt that says Big Johnson on it. Is that
No.
it?
Larry, you know it.
It's always sort of an innuendo about a Big Johnson. It's always in a situation, and it's always an innuendo how the Big Johnson's going to play a key part in the statement on the back of the shirt.
Huh.
It would have
I'm not familiar with it.
It would have a huge back print on them. These are probably about 92, 93, around there. They stayed around the whole early 90s.
I loved it.
I knew
I had
it would be
one.
right up.
I had one.
I knew.
Well, you
Larry,
had the
it would
T-shirt,
be
but
right
not the actual Big Johnson. Let's make that clear.
Yeah, because I got one right after I graduated high school. We went to the beach, and that's what it reminds me of. The Big Johnson shirts reminds me of, like, just when life still had promise.
Right.
That was a long time ago.
Many moon.
You could still drink and party without complete shame and embarrassment.
Well, I could just walk out the door without complete embarrassment and shame.
I'm looking at them. I Googled them up, and I'm looking at some of them right now.
What? Oh, the Big Johnsons? Yeah.
Big Johnson shirts, yeah.
Hey, the Ed's here. Should we bring them on?
No, wait, I don't want to disrupt the top 11. Wait till the end of the top 11, the Ed, all right? And then we'll bring you on. Yeah, and that's going to be crying now, but it's all right. All right, Corey, what do you got at number 10?
Number 10, you'll get this one, Mike Dell. Che Guevara.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about, Larry?
Yeah, I know that shirt. Yeah.
Half the people who own one don't even know who he is.
Yeah, that's the problem. They have no concept of what a revolutionary is or what he did. Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
No idea. It's become pop culture reference, and it's just embarrassing that they have one. Kind of a cool image, but you know, not cool.
All right.
Stuff.
Number 9
is Ed Hardy and Affliction.
Yes.
I
hate these shirts.
They invoke so much rage, I can barely contain myself.
All this fancy, like, calligraphy right near the collar on I hate it so much.
And they got, like, foil or gold leaf in them and stuff. It's like, what is going on?
Yeah. I don't even know how they do that.
Yeah, or why they would do that.
It has a sword on them and a crow or something, and they're really tight, and they're just bad.
Yeah. Ed Hardy. Yeah, and apparently you can't be an MMA fighter unless you own at least 3.
You have to. Yeah. Or on a reality show of some sort.
Yeah. Shameful. All right, number 8.
Satan tees. The early, these also from my heyday in high school, is they were always with some kid that was just pretty much trying to piss off everybody in high school and make people think he's crazy. They'd say something like "Got Satan" or "Highway 666" or "Satan's Little Helper." You know.
Oh, all right, I see what you're doing. All right, yeah.
Yeah,
you know, but like I'm not on a religious rant here. These are the kind of Satan. This is a theme in this list: is the pun T-shirts. So it always has some kind of tacky, Satan. Like I'm a crazy white boy, Satan theme to it.
Yeah, I went to hell and all I got was this stinking T-shirt.
Right.
Yeah, stuff like that.
Some stupid pentagram on it and some fire or something. Not a big.
All right, number 7.
This is the ones I kept having a recurring theme on here, so I just made it one big thing for number 7. Is all around pun tees. So you have like the drug pun tees. You have like the Coca-Cola that's written like it has cocaine on it instead of Coca-Cola. Like Resin Bran instead of Raisin Bran. Stuff like that. Dunkin' Donuts, fucking Go Nuts, which was a real popular one I remember.
Yeah.
Rehab is for quitters, orgasm donor, licensed body inspector.
Yeah.
Now, this is my first one with a subgenre, I guess you would say. This is also, these are kind of I think somebody, a major minority might have put this on the message board that made me think about it. The T-shirts that say, "I'm with stupid."
Oh, yeah, I love those.
Point over to the right, really bad. I thought of ones that are similar to that, like Bun in the Oven with the arrow pointing to the arrow, like Future Rangers fan or something. You see a lot of those. Go ahead.
Now, listen, I was going to say real quick, Mike Dell and I were trying to come up with some ideas for T-shirts, and I kid you not, Mike Dell, I only have one thing written down as far as an idea, and all it says is $5 footlong with an arrow pointing down. Yep, I swear to God, that's all that's on this piece of paper.
Worthy of the list. Well done, Larry.
Perfect.
Well done.
Perfect.
Yeah.
The tuxedo shirt is another bad one.
Yeah, the tuxedo shirt. Yeah, it's brutal.
Really bad. And then the tee with the hot body drawn on it for like the fat guys and the fat girls.
Yeah.
Bad stuff.
Yeah, nice.
All right.
Wow, we've gone through so many, and we still got the top 6 to go. Number 6.
Number 6. This is I'm very passionate about this one. Nature scene T-shirts.
I hate it.
Oh, now you'll find these at, like, if you go into your local mall, I think the places are called, like, Nature's Habitat. They're the ones with they smell like incense. The store smells like incense, has a lot of dream catchers and stuff in it, but mainly, these is the wolf and the wizard tees really just enrage me. Like, I get very upset when I see them.
God, I hate those animal shirts so much.
Oh, my God.
God. Anything with an animal. Good.
The only thing worse than seeing a Wolf Moon T-shirt is seeing a Wolf Moon tattoo.
Yeah.
That's a whole other list.
Hey, since you brought it up, Cory, do you have tattoos?
I have a ton of them.
All right, that's what I thought. Now, do you watch that TV show, Ink Masters, with Dave Navarro?
No, because one of my best friends is a tattoo artist, which is why I have so many of them. And I was out a couple weeks ago visiting him, and he says, "Did you see this show? What is it, Ink Masters or
Ink Masters?"
Yeah, he says this damn Dave Navarro. And I said, when did he become a tattoo artist? He's like, no, he's just a putz, and he's on there talking out his butt about tattoos. And I thought, I never want to see this at all.
Oh, it's great. I'm not a tattoo guy. I don't know anything about tattoos. But I just love it because it's so weird and goofy. And they actually bring people in and they tattoo them. We'll talk about it some other time. But yeah, right. Ink Masters. Anyway.
I got 34 tattoos.
No, Larry doesn't have any tattoos. He's scared of needles and he'll cry. He'll cry if he gets a tattoo. That's exactly what he'll do. All right. Number 5 on the big list.
This is another one. This is a lot of these seem to have come from my high school days and things that really annoyed. I was really trying to look back at stuff from the past. And the all-over print heavy metal tees are really, they kind of scream, I'm not getting a girlfriend anytime soon. Always have a lot of blood and skulls on them. I don't know if you guys remember these.
Yeah, I can remember an all-over heavy metal tee.
I don't understand what you mean by all-over print. Like, even on like...
Yeah, it's like a gigantic print. And like I just always hated them. They're always two-sided, and they have gigantic prints all over them, multiple colors. They're really loud, and they're always like something. They always had like a Megadeth or a Pantera shirt or Pink Floyd. And it was just ridiculous. I couldn't. I wish I had. Almost that I could post a picture of them, because there's no way to describe them other than they're just horrible.
Now, what year did you graduate?
96.
96, goddamn.
What year did you graduate?
2006.
Wow.
Yeah.
Really young.
Yeah, I know.
Well, we're actually both older than you, Cory.
Wait, I thought you were, though. I didn't know how old Larry was, but he's really
Larry's older than me, so yeah.
Yeah, I'm 30.
I was 93. Larry, what are you, 91?
I was 91, 91.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was...
Now, what are we up to, number 4, I believe?
4.
Yeah.
Now, this one's really obscure, and this one, must have been lingering in my head this whole time, because it's one of the first ones I thought of. I don't know if anybody will get it, but there may be a few people here and there. In around 92, 93, the Looney Tunes started putting out these kind of hip-hop inspired shirts. And there's a front, it was just bizarrely ridiculous. It was like a Bugs Bunny and Taz. And they were a front and a back shirt. So the front of it would have like Bugs Bunny and Taz, and they had their pants on backwards and their shirts. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
I remember these shirts.
Oh my God, did I hate them!
And then the back would be like the back of
Their
them
back.
with their clothes normal.
Right.
Yeah. I remember that.
I'm so glad you remember them, because I was like trying to think about a way to describe them so I didn't sound like a complete idiot, and I could never figure it out. It was always like white kids that wore them, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
You never had like a real hip hop guy wearing them. It was always some poser.
Well, as a general rule in life, I think Looney Tune clothing, don't wear it. Just don't wear it.
Yeah. It's kind of. I don't understand what made them popular. I never could figure out like why anybody would want to wear Bugs Bunny dressed up like a child rapper.
Wow, there you go. How about that?
Yeah.
Wow, the production value.
Good timing. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, number 3. Oh, here we are.
Number
heavy
3.
Number 3.
Number 3. These are the ones where I really was stressing over, like where to place these last ones. Jesus is my homeboy. Remember
Jesus
these?
is my homeboy.
I did not like these at all. I felt this was redundant. I didn't understand it. I was happy that people were happy about their religion, but I felt like Urban Outfitters was shoving it down my throat.
Yeah. Jesus is my homeboy.
There's a lot of people. I had, this was another subgenre one where the kind of the hipster vintage tee thing went horribly awry. I remember going to Goodwill, in the early 90s and looking for, obscure T-shirts that said, 1984 volleyball camp or Dave's Bar and Grill, or, where Ocean City, Maryland, is some, or some high school that you never attended, and you'd wear them to be ironic.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden they started mass producing them.
Yeah.
And urban, so that was my number 3.
Jesus is my homeboy. Number 2
is NASCAR.
Oh God, yeah.
Any NASCAR T-shirt.
Anything. Yeah.
Anything. I can't even. I could spend 3 shows talking about number 2.
They try to get something on every piece of fabric on that shirt. Every NASCAR, it has the car, the sponsors, the guy, the helmet, the wife, the house, everything. I hate them. Yeah, the schedule. It's so stupid.
Horrible. And people wear them with such pride.
Oh yeah.
And they're just they don't understand that they're I remember, Dale Earnhardt Jr. was a big one. And Jeff Gordon, you always saw I remember working with a guy that had 5 of them, and these were his work shirts. And so if he had 5, and he wore them all, I'm not even exaggerating, he wore one every day of the week. So if those were his work shirts, then he must have had, some really nice ones that he wore, during the weekend. So he had, countless Dale and they're all Dale Earnhardt Jr.
Ah, Junior's the worst.
Just making my stomach in knots right now.
Oh, yeah, I don't blame you at all.
So,
all right, what are we at? The big number 1?
Number 1.
Wait, hold on. Let me see. I might have a drum roll here. Let me see. Give me 1 second, Mike Dell.
Nice. Really set the mood for this one.
Yeah.
Ready?
Yeah.
Tie-dyes.
Oh, yeah.
It's a solid pick. I was wondering where you were going to go with number 1, but yeah, tie-dye. Yeah, it's good.
Tie-dye is bad.
Oh, I think nothing says I would like no one to take me seriously better than a tie-dye. I
was going to say, what's even worse than guy in tie-dye is guy in homemade tie-dye, like where he's even too cheap to like just go out and buy the decent looking one. He makes it himself, and it looks even worse. It's all like faded pastel colors and stuff. It's really terrible. I mean, if you're going to if you're at least going to trip out over a T-shirt, you got to have it be vibrant.
I couldn't agree with you more. And it never looks like a good decision. You know, never look at a guy and be like, that's a really nice tie-dye.
Yeah.
No, I've never once said that.
Never. I just, you know, in 94, I think Garcia died. And I remember from about 93 to 96, you know, the year before he died, and then when he went, it just became, you know, it was thrust into kind of Jim Morris and Janis Joplin kind of Hendrix status, where he was a god, and you know, now everybody was wearing tie-dyes, and they were expensive, and they were sold in the mall, and it seemed like it was taken, you know, these are supposed to be from the counterculture and the 60s kind of hippies, and now, you know, it's just really just the bad fashion trend gone horribly commercial in the mall. Nothing, can't think of a T-shirt I really hate more than the tie-dye.
I agree.
Well, I got to tell you, I was thinking you'd have trouble even coming up with 11 shirts you hate, but this was a tremendous list. You did a fine job with it.
You could have probably came up with 50 of them.
Yeah.
I'm telling you guys, I really had to scale this down. I started about 6 o'clock. I was looking at it, and I was like, I had about 18 shirts on it.
Well done.
Now, oh, go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. This stupid cell phone keeps cutting you guys off.
I just want to say real quick before we bring the Ed on that Cory, Mike Dell, he's announced that he's going to bring back the Clint Eastwood shirt, which is probably the baddest shirt he's got. With the cross and 6-shooter guns on the logo and everything, it looks awesome. And
yeah. What else, Larry?
I just wanted to say real quick for people, when you go to the Backpage Press and you buy your T-shirts, because you're going to want to, because these are the best T-shirts, first off. But I got to tell you, Mike Dell, the @ T-shirt, the Backpage Press with the @ logo on it, I can't tell you. The pictures don't do it justice. I mentioned this on the message board the other day, but it is badass. Like, because the paint he uses has like a little shimmer to it, Mike Dell. It's kind of fancy.
A little shimmer.
Yeah, so it's a little glittery, but it's badass. You got to get the @ T-shirt. I highly recommend one.
Oh, @ T-shirt.
Well, I'm going to give Larry some stroking back on that one, because he definitely has good taste, because the ones that I like a lot never sell. And it's always been an odd thing. Like, I get so excited about certain ones, and then nobody likes them.
That shirt doesn't sell? I thought that would be a big one.
Larry's the only one who's ever bought one.
What?
It's swear to God, I have one. One of my best friends have one, and Larry has one. That's it.
That is ridiculous. I thought for sure that would have been one of your big sellers, Star Wars.
No. It was one of my first ones, too, and nobody ever, when Larry bought one the one day, I about fell over. And then the Clint Eastwood one, I'm the only one who owns one of those. Like, nobody's bought one of those.
Yeah, that Clint Eastwood's a nice shirt. And you brought it out of retirement just for Larry.
Well, yeah, he kept saying, because I like it. I spent a lot of time on that one. And I had it up for a year, and it was almost like ripping open the scab every time I looked at it. It was like, nobody approved of it, nobody liked it, hurt my feelings, and I finally took it down.
Now, Cory, how much time do you have? Are you in a rush? Do you have time?
No.
All right. Because I still want to pitch some ideas to you about T-shirts, but I know the Ed, is he still on the line, Larry?
Yeah, he's held for 22 minutes.
Ooh, wow. 22 minutes. He's gonna be in a foul mood. But I know you and the Ed, you've had some tough times in the past.
We had, yeah.
But I like to think that the hatchet's been buried and that you're chums again. So let's bring, because really working with the Ed almost drove Cory out of the T-shirt business. It was very trying. But we'll bring the Ed on. The Ed, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. What do you mean it was trying? I'm trying to give the guy, goddamn, like American royalty ideas.
American royalty ideas. Yeah.
I got on my Ed T-shirt with my meatloaf stain on it right now.
With the meatloaf stain, yeah. Very good.
Yeah,
the Ed T-shirt. It's a beautiful T-shirt. I got to tell you, it's lovely.
Yeah.
I myself.
But listen, here's what I want to say, man. I'm so glad that he didn't put my favorite T-shirts on that list, because a lot of people.
You, Ed, what kind of T-shirts would you put on that list, or what are your favorite T-shirts?
Well, the T-shirts that I really truly love, and I've got a bunch of them, are the ones where, like, I got a tuxedo shirt.
Well, he mentioned that he doesn't like the tuxedo shirt.
Huh?
It's on there, buddy.
Oh, yeah. Jesus Christ. What about the police officer shirt?
No.
I got that. I got the fire department. Man, I got the FBI shirt. I mean, I'm like, I can just go and be whatever I want to be if I just put on that T-shirt.
No,
so like
hold on. Let me ask Cory
officer
something.
Shirt is just like it has a tie and like on it and like a badge.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's drawn on the shirt, so you ain't got to put your tie on because you already got your tie on.
Oh.
Yeah.
What do you think
and
of
then
that,
I got one of my favorite T-shirts I got is a Smokey the Bear shirt that says "Only you can prevent forest fires."
Oh, that's an awesome shirt. I'd like to have that. Yeah.
That's like a collector.
Right.
That's a collector's, what you call collector's item.
Collector's item. Yeah.
But I
now the
did buy a shirt.
T-shirts out there that you just despise. You see someone wearing this T-shirt, like, oh, that's just dumb.
Yeah, I don't like purple T-shirts.
Purple T-shirts.
Yeah. No, and I don't like. You know what I never see? Let me ask you if you guys have ever seen it. You know, people wear these basketball jerseys and football jerseys and stuff with the names on the back of the players, right?
Yeah, they're like jerseys. Yeah.
Have you ever noticed you never see a black fellow with a white athlete on the back of his jersey? Like, white people wear a Michael Jordan shirt all day long, but you never see a black person wearing Larry Bird.
But you've never seen a black person wearing a Peyton Manning jersey or a Tom Brady jersey?
No, I've never seen that.
Huh.
That's a good point, Del. I was trying to have a hard time figuring it out, but that is that you see a lot of black guys with Peyton Manning jerseys on. Or Drew Brees is another one. Yeah,
you seen a black guy with a Peyton Manning?
In Pittsburgh. I'm sure there's some Benless burgers around here, right?
I've seen it.
They get Heinz Ward. They get Heinz Ward, man.
Line's hard.
Yeah. But I mean, and then, well, go ahead. I ain't gonna say nothing.
I want to ask Cory something real quick. Because, Cory, Del and I have had this debate on the show for many a time, and you're the guy to break the tie.
Oh, that's right. I know what you're going to say, but yeah, go ahead.
Where do you weigh in on those T-shirts that look like jerseys? It'll be like a penguin, like almost jersey looking, and it'll have like
not true. It's not true at all. They don't look like jerseys. It's a T-shirt with the hockey logo on the front and a number on the back and the player's name.
Yeah, it'll have like Crosby 87 on a T-shirt on the back. What do you think of those?
Right. You know what? This is like the Metallica question. It depends on what day. There's part of me that makes me feel like I'm like a little kid when I have a couple of them.
Yeah, that's right. He owns a couple. Now what? I have a baby blue Flurry with 21 on the back. You know, it's awesome. Yeah.
I have an Orphic. I have an Orphic one, and they're good for summertime when you want to wear a jersey, but it's too hot. But
see, I don't make the connection that it's a jersey. It's just a T-shirt for the player. That's all it is. I don't see it as a jersey.
That's lame,
like an alternative to the jersey. Larry says it's a cheap alternative to a jersey. No, it's a T-shirt. It has nothing to do with the jersey.
You're a grown man.
But it's a T-shirt.
Right. they're both valid points, the same points I had. Like, you're a grown man, you can't really wear that out too much, but if you're watching the game or, you being a fanboy, you can wear it. But, I have the Aspen Extreme one that kind of looks like that, but,
what do you guys, oh, never mind.
No, go ahead, Ed.
What do you guys think about a fella that wears a T-shirt of himself, like me?
Yeah, the Ed gets to wear his own T-shirt.
I think it's spectacular.
Yeah. Yeah, hey, Cory, why don't you come out with a Cory Seymour T-shirt?
I would feel very awkward wearing that.
Hey, man, can you make me some Ed sweatpants?
Probably, yes, actually I could. But the logo probably won't fit on the leg.
You know what I want to do is, how come pants don't have like a little holster for you to put your wiener in so it can just go to the side? How come pants don't do that?
They should.
Pants with a wiener holster. Yeah.
Pants. That's a good point because, it always kind of lays to the one side like that. I don't know why it doesn't have a holster.
Yeah. And Franklin said he never has that problem. And I said, well, Jesus Christ, man, you must be a woman.
Good point, Ed, yeah. Must be a
woman. But Frank, you know what shirts Franklin wears all the time? He always wears, like, old concert T-shirts. And then, man, he's 40-something years old now, and them T-shirts are just snug tight on him. They was super big when he was a kid. He wearing the original ones. He got a Rush T-shirt from like the 80s. He still wears it. He got the original Van Halen 84 shirt.
Oh, that's nice.
The dude is still wearing it, and he takes them to the dry cleaners so they don't get messed up like in the washing machine. So they look pretty good.
Well, I'd probably pay top dollar for a 1984 Van Halen T-shirt on eBay.
Oh, his is game worn too, because he been to a lot of concerts. He got a Kenny Loggins T-shirt, and I said, "Jesus Christ, who would wear Kenny Loggins?"
Kenny Loggins.
Kenny Loggins don't even got a Kenny Loggins shirt, I bet.
He's Danger Zone from Top Gun, isn't he?
Highway to
the
I don't know. You know what? I always remember Kenny Loggins from like the early '80s, NBC when they were doing the Final Four. Dr. Duncanstein, Daryl Griffith. You remember him?
Mm-hmm.
You guys probably too young, but they used to sing that song. This is it. Make no mistake where you are. This is it. And they be showing a slam dunk like. I used to do that, too. I used to play that real loud in my room when I had a Nerf hoop. And I'd be, this is it. I was dunking. I had in my house right now, we got a Nerf hoop on one side of the house and a Nerf hoop on the other side of the house. And me and the baby, we playing one-on-one and stuff. I'd dunk on him.
Yeah,
come on, baby.
He's a
you
small
don't
child.
want none, baby.
Yeah.
You don't want none, baby. You don't want none.
Now, Ed, if you could suggest to Cory, like to pitch a T-shirt idea to him, not Ed related, like not related to you in any way, but just in general T-shirt, what would you?
Oh man, me and him talked about a whole bunch of stuff. He needs to get on that Floyd stuff, but I don't think he wants to do it. He laughed about Floyd's shirts and made fun of them, and he's got an opportunity to make them a lot better.
Well,
he's just like
set up here.
Yeah,
making fun of a boxer. The Ed and I were talking about how horrible if you go on Floyd's website, I mean, there's some bad T-shirts on there. It looks like
you should make a Floyd shirt. Make up a Floyd shirt, and you'd deliver it to him, right?
That's what I said, man. I said Floyd would buy at least 300, 400, 500 of them, man.
Yeah.
He would.
Yeah,
and that'd probably be your best-selling shirt ever.
You know what you should do? You should make a shirt like making fun of Pacquiao or something and bring it to Floyd. And then,
Well, I saw a shirt the other day. Like when he was there, we got this store out here. It's a Mexico store. It's called Phallus, and they sell like just T-shirts that are real cheap. Like they have like a Milk Duds shirt and a Sugar Baby shirt and stuff like that. But they were like $2 a piece. And one of the shirts, you've seen the Run DMC shirts, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. This shirt said Run. And it said Floyd on it. And it said Manny Pacquiao on the back. And it was $2 for the shirt. But they was extra small, though, so I didn't get one.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to get one anyway, because I was like, man, that's a crazy-looking shirt. But I'm telling you, man, me and this Cory kid, man, with my mind and his expertise in shirt making, we'd make a fortune. But he thinks he don't like me, man. He talks trash, sends me meatloaf
he loves
shirts.
you, the
I never talked trash.
He loves
Yeah,
you.
you did. You told me, you direct messaged me and said, man, can you shut the F up? And I was like, I'm like, man, all I'm saying is, but you don't know, man. People with Twitter, listen, I know it took you a minute to get these shirts done, but see, time don't always stand still.
Mm-hmm.
And people...
The Ed's a busy man. He's got things going on all the time.
I should really, I need to get helpers in the basement or something. I can't keep up with it.
Well, listen, you're in the Pittsburgh area, right?
Yep.
This idiot Dell don't do nothing. He don't
I
do
need a job.
thing.
I can work in the basement factory for you.
This guy can finger paint the pictures all day. But what I'm saying is that the people kept pestering me. Ed, man, when the hell are these T-shirts going to be done? I got something to do with it. I'm like, man, I'm just the person on the shirt.
Yeah, but the Ed, it's a fantastic shirt. Now, Cory, are more people starting to buy the Ed shirts, or is it stagnated?
Yeah. We're at 18. I think Larry said something on the show last week about how many were sold, and I looked it up and then tweeted out it was 18 as of last week. I don't think I sold any this week, but there was a lot of people were anxious about that one, and I had no idea after I put it out, and I was just backed up, and I didn't have time to work on it. And here everybody was anxious about it, and then the logo.
Well, we got to sell more than 18. Come on, idiots. Let's go buy some T-shirts. You know?
Yeah, no, I thought you'd already sell at least 100 by now, man. These guys are punks, man.
Yeah, Ed was predicting 50 to 100. Yeah.
Yeah. Because
everyone tells Ed they bought the shirt, but then they don't.
Really man, people be telling me out the way. If I got all the people who told me to buy the shirts, you've sold at least 100. Mm-hmm. People are like, I got my T-shirt in the mail. It's great. Some guy told me he got a red one. I didn't even get no red one. I got a blue one.
Yeah, it doesn't come in red. Now, Ed, any other ideas for T-shirts? I know Floyd, and I think you were talking about the old-time boxing posters and stuff, but what else? Any other ideas?
No.
Well, here, I need an Ed sticker. That's what I want. But anyway.
Well, no, nothing about the Ed stickers. Shirt ideas for other, like, pop culture references or sports, anything.
What about, no one does this, man. How come no one makes T-shirts that like they're government officials?
Well, I can tell you why. But we don't.
Because everybody say, why don't somebody make like the Senators collection, and it's got all the senators. Make a shirt, or make a
put their prison number underneath.
That'll sell worse than the ad at.
Make a Sarah Palin shirt in a bathing suit.
Yeah, now you're talking. I think the Ed also wants a Valerie Bertinelli shirt.
I'd take Valerie Bertinelli, man. She was better than Farrah Fawcett, man. She was way better than Farrah Fawcett.
Yeah.
Oh
my goodness.
I think the Ed wants a good time.
Here's what I can't understand, man. Man, I always wondered who Valerie Bertinelli's dad is, because that lady from One Day at a Time sure is ugly, so the dad must have had to be a better-looking fella than that Marmot is. Because Bonnie Franklin's nasty looking.
Yeah, Bonnie Franklin, very mean.
Who would even decide that Bonnie Franklin can be the lead of the TV show, man? Who was she?
I hear you. It was different in the 70s. Like, Alice would never get on TV these days.
Yeah, Linda Gavin. Oh, Jesus Christ. And Vera.
Oh, Vera. Yeah.
Jesus Christ, man. Now, Mel Torme, he was all right as Mel. But
no, that wasn't Mel Torme. That was Vic Tayback. It wasn't Mel Torme.
No.
No, it wasn't Mel Torme.
That was Mel's place that they was at.
Yes, Mel's diner, but no
and
connection
then,
to Mel Torme.
What? That was when the West was wide open, too. That show was in Phoenix.
That's right, yeah, the Wild West.
I used to be shy. I used to be shy.
People would ride up on their horses and
the
order some chili.
parties I never knew.
Well, yeah, we got some other T-shirt ideas we want to pitch. Now, Larry, you already mentioned your 5.
All right, what are the other ideas? What are the other ideas for a shirt?
$5 foot long with an arrow pointing down.
Yeah,
I like that one. That's a good idea.
Yeah. But Cory, I'm sure you're aware that we've been having a sort of a feud with Holly Marie Combs' fans. So
yeah.
Who is Holly Marie Combs?
Maybe you could make some sort of Holly Marie Combs themed shirt.
Hold on, who is Molly Marie Combs? I keep seeing you guys talk about her, but I don't know who she is.
Holly Marie Combs. She was on Charmed with Alyssa Milano and Rose McGowan and Shannon Doherty.
I never saw her.
Yeah.
You know what? Alyssa Milano's shirt would be good.
Yeah, well, she's in the clothing business already. But, yeah, maybe a Holly Marie Combs-inspired shirt would be nice. I'm sure we could sell a lot of those. And, Larry, tell them about your little shark thing that you had going.
Shark?
Yeah, shark weege. Explain that.
Oh, yeah, shark weege.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but nobody would get that, I don't think. Nobody would understand.
Yeah, Larry apparently had a typo. He made a
shirt?
typo or something when he was talking about Shark Week, and it became Shark Weege, and it really swept everyone by storm last year. Shark Weege.
Yeah, we tried to trend it. I don't think it ever really took off like I wanted it to, though.
Yeah.
Shark Weege.
Yeah, Shark Weege.
It trended in Greenville. In Greensburg, it trended.
That would be that'd be a good message board T-shirt. I think everybody on there would get it.
What about Super Deluxe Baby Fight shirt?
That's illegal.
I've actually thought of that before. I love the baby.
Now, Cory, we're all big fans of Mr. Show. What about some Mr. Show-related T-shirts? Did you ever think of that?
All the time. That is one of the most underappreciated shows I can think of.
Because we could come up with a bunch of ideas for Mr. Show T-shirts, but Larry, tell them your favorite.
Coupon the movie, the T-shirt.
Yeah.
Very good. I'm writing that down.
What about a picture of the Dave with a black eye?
The Dave Damashek.
Yeah, with a black eye. Yeah.
Well, that's not. Well, we were starting to talk about that, and I think I went off on a tangent about Metallica or something. And they, I couldn't. I don't think. I mean, I wouldn't even have any sales if it wasn't for Dave. I'd have my friends would buy some, but he really. I owe the guy a lot. I can't make a T-shirt with him getting punched in the eye.
Hey, come on,
just put on the back. Ed did it.
Well, I guess if you get it approved, then maybe.
Now, I had Lemieux written down here, but of course you said you're working on a Lemieux shirt. We got to get that taken care of immediately, the Lemieux shirt. And
right.
What about the Ed and I were talking on a radio show last night with Larry on Security Guy Irv's show, and Irv was doing a list of the greatest defensive backs in NFL history, and he had Mel Blount ranked what did he have him at, 8 or something?
No,
and
I think he had
him way too low.
Yeah, it's ridiculous that he had him so low. What about a Mel Blount shirt? And you could because he changed the NFL. You could call it Game Changer or something. Mel Blount, Game Changer.
I'm
great.
So excited you said that. You made my month, Mike Dell. That is the one jersey I wear all the time. I have a giant picture of Mel Blount going down my staircase. I've been thinking about all those old the old Steeler steel curtain 70s shirts, and I'm telling you, I get nervous about making those kind of shirts because I don't want to screw them up. But
yeah, no, don't worry about it.
What about Jack Tatum, the assassin? That'd be
no, we don't want to be making any Jack Tatum shirts here in Pittsburgh.
What about Spider-Man shirts?
No, you don't want to get Marvel Comics and Stan Lee after you, though.
They wouldn't do the pants off of me, yeah.
Yeah. But Mel Blount, Game Changer. There you go. Make that one.
Didn't Dermontti Dawson just get in the Hall of Fame?
Yeah, Dermontti Dawson. No one really likes Dermontti. He's a center.
And have it say center of attention.
That's pretty good, yeah.
I was going to say the Blunt shirt could say Blunt Force Trauma.
Yeah.
Blunt Force Trauma.
Bad. Yeah.
That's not too bad either. Yeah. No, I've been trying to get you hooked up with...
It could say, let me be blunt with you.
All right, very good, Dad. Yeah, let me be blunt with you. Now, I've been trying to get you hooked up with our buddies Sean Leahy and Greg Wyshynski at Puck Daddy, and I don't know, they've been reluctant to do anything. But I'm sure Leahy's listening to the radio show right now. So make a pitch to Leahy. Yeah, you want to make their T-shirts, right?
I would love to. I think that Puck Daddy has a friendship with Sully's up in Boston, though. I've seen him push the Sully's tees before too. So no
conflicting T-shirts. Well, here's what we'll do. If they don't approve it, that's all right. We'll just make our own. We won't use Puck Daddy, but here's what I had envisioned for the shirt anyway. Like, you remember those old Star Wars posters? Because Wyshynski loves Star Wars. Where, like, Luke Skywalker is standing there with the lightsaber straight up in the air, and, like, Princess Leia is wrapped around his leg on the ground. Remember that? Yeah. Uh-huh. So I want one with Wyshynski standing there holding a hockey stick in the air, and then Leahy wearing jean shorts and clinging to his leg. And I want that to be the Puck Daddy T-shirt. So even if they don't approve it, I don't care. We're going to make it anyway. All right? we'll sell a lot of them. We'll sell a ton of them. Don't worry about it.
When the show's over, I'm starting on it.
That seems pretty detailed.
Yeah, but it's all right. He can do it.
That's why I'm starting on it tonight. But,
he's an artist. He can do it. Now, a couple other ones. You mentioned Cobain earlier. I wasn't even thinking, let's get a Cobain shirt and have Courtney Love come and kill us. That'll be great.
Oh,
what do you think?
My goodness. That is probably the only woman I would take a swing at. I would.
Oh, hold her. You hit her. Come on, it'll be great.
Oh, my goodness.
I'd take a swing at her with my
anytime you want to make a Cobain shirt, let's make that happen. I got all kind of design ideas for that. And finally, the last one. I know I'm pretty sure you watched the show. I've seen it. You mentioned it on Get Glue before, but Boardwalk Empire, right?
Oh yeah. Make me a chalky white, man. Chalky white.
Yeah, make the Chalky White T-shirt.
Yeah, or make me a Judge Joe Brown shirt. Judge Joe Brown and Judge Matt.
Forget about Judge Joe Brown. But Cory, the Boardwalk Empire. Now, have you seen the first 2 seasons completed yet? Like all the way through?
No, because I couldn't get the first season on Netflix. I watched a little bit of this season, and I didn't want to. I knew something was going to happen, so I stopped it. And I know that nothing dies, but because you were talking about it.
Yeah, I don't want to ruin it, but my favorite character of all time is Jimmy Darmody. We got to get Jimmy Darmody on a T-shirt. And one of the things he'd always say when he'd make a toast was "To the Lost." You put "To the Lost" on a T-shirt under Jimmy Darmody, you're selling a bunch, guaranteed. Yeah.
Well, that show.
My fantasy basketball team's called the Chalky White Suckers.
Yeah, that's right, Chalky White Suckers. But yeah, we got to get some Boardwalk Empire shirts in there. Oh, that'd be nice.
I'm trying to do a lot more movie shirts. I have some ideas for stuff, but then they always get pushed to the back because I think there's a sports one and I put it out. So, that like the Godfather one I probably had that screen done for 6 months and I didn't put it out.
Can you make me a shirt with a big dollar sign in the middle of it?
Why would you want that?
That would be cheesy.
Yeah.
That's money, baby. That's money.
You can get one of those you can go down in Vegas to the crappy T-shirt shop. I'm sure they have one of those.
Yeah, go to that Mexico
they be selling
shop.
You get 5 shirts for $10.
I know. Yeah. That's what I mean. It's like the Boardwalk in Ocean City. They got.
How can they sell them for that cheap? I don't understand.
Because they're shitty shirts. The stuff's gonna come out of them as soon as you wash them.
Oh yeah, I remember when I went to the Philippines one time, and I had bought a shirt. It was a caricature shirt. You know what a caricature is?
Yes. Oh yeah. I think we're all familiar with that.
It was Dominique Wilkins dunking a ball. It was an Atlanta Hawks shirt. Man, when I was over there, it looked so super deluxe cool and everything. And then I even had a lady. They said that they can make whatever you want. And this lady, it took her about an hour and a half, and she made me a North Carolina sweatsuit. And, man, I had a number on it, and I had my name on the back, Miller, and, man, and I had it where it was the rip-away pants and stuff, She charged me like $50 for it. And so, man, I get home, and I guess when you're overseas, man, you just lose your mind, because when I got home and the first day I wore it, my friend goes, "Hey, man, Carolina spelled wrong."
Nice.
And the L and the R was in the wrong place. It said Calarina. Calarina. And so I was mad about it. And then I put the stuff in the washing machine to wash it. Man, the letters and numbers and all fell off, and buttons fell off in the washing machine, man.
Yeah, you're not going to have any of that problem at Backpage Press, let me tell you. Now Corey, have you ever realized, like, did you ever have something like that happen to you where you got the screen all made up, ready to print, and then you're like, I screwed it up. I made a mistake somehow. Anything?
All the time. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah?
Constantly. That's why I'm completely anal about it, and it drives me nuts. But it takes so much work to get one of those screens done, but if you have a mistake on it, like the very first Debo shirt, the James Harrison shirt I made, it was spelled wrong.
All right.
You gonna make a Jeremy Lin shirt?
Yeah. Jeremy Lin, you could cash in on that.
Yeah, man, because you could do one, too, when the Knicks lose, and it says, oops, we found a chink in their armor.
Oh, the Ed, please. It's horrible. Yeah, it's awful. But, Corey, you know what you should do?
And then
you make a Tebow shirt.
One. You can do a shirt of Jeremy Lin shooting a three-pointer, and Marv Albert could be saying, from way down in Chinatown.
Yeah, that's kind of busy for a T-shirt, but all right. But, Corey, make a Tebow shirt and sell it here in Pittsburgh. Oh, that'd be great.
How about Tebow in a Pittsburgh jersey?
I threw up in my mouth again.
No, I'd love to see it. Larry, wouldn't that be great, a Tebow shirt? That'd be awesome.
You guys that was I could not believe that game. I know you guys aren't huge Steeler fans.
Yeah, we don't like the Steelers too much, but yeah, Tebow, love it. Yeah, make a Tebow shirt.
Make a Binless shirt. Make a shirt that says Binless Burger on it.
I tell you what, if the Cam Neely didn't get me burned at the stake, I think that one would.
Yeah, the Tebow shirt. All right, the Ed. Well, let's before we say goodbye to Corey, let's get rid of the Ed here. All right, the Ed. When's your show tomorrow?
I got more stuff to talk about on these shirts. Why don't you make a shirt that says something about I don't know
great
what
idea,
to say.
Well, he'll get working.
Shut up, man! You're messing me up. You're messing me up when I'm trying to tell you what I'm saying.
Sorry, go ahead.
How about I come out there to where Corey lives, and I stay there for 3 months, and I'll be in the basement just making shirts.
That's what I need. You need to come out here and do it.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And I'll put on my shirt making hat.
Yeah.
And
your
I'll
shirt
go in
making
there.
Shirt? That'll be great.
Well, yeah. I mean, you gotta wear a shirt. You can't walk around with no shirt on, man.
No.
I don't.
All right, Ed.
Though.
Well, tomorrow on the Ed Show at 10 o'clock, we'll check out some more ideas if you have any. All right. But,
on your tattoos that you got, T-shirt kid, you got any? Are they all just like one color, or are they different colors?
No, they're all different colors.
Yeah.
Now listen to this. How come listen. How come black people don't get tattoos with white ink?
Because it doesn't stay in there. Because black guys got to use blue ink or black ink. So white
Why
ink
can't they use white?
Well, white people can't use white either. I mean, they do, but the white doesn't stay in your skin. I don't know what the reason is, but it just doesn't. It doesn't stay in your skin real well. I don't know. Maybe tomorrow we'll know.
Because I got me like, I get like white paint and paint over a black thing, and the white works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a real mystery.
I'm not sure. That's a mystery.
All right, Ed. Well, thanks, buddy. I appreciate you joining in and.
Wait a minute. I got one more thing to say. Have you seen this television show called Baggage on Game Show Network?
Larry mentioned it the other day on the show.
Okay, now I started watching it, and I got mad. Now the last episode I watched, I had to turn it off. It was all fag episode. I was like, Jesus Christ,
Corey,
man!
can you make it like a homophobic shirt and have the Ed walk around with it? That'd be great.
Yeah.
I will. And as soon as I
watch
the show, I'll post
it
on Blue so everybody knows I'm watching it.
I know.
All right, the Ed.
Okay.
Thanks, buddy. There he goes, the Ed. Crazy old man from Las Vegas. Thanks, the Ed.
2 parts flaming, 1 part homophobic, 100% eco-friendly. It's the Ed.
Yeah, it's the Ed. That's right. Now, Corey, before we let you go, because you've been with us like an hour and a half already. Thanks, buddy. Thanks for hanging in there.
Yeah, no problem.
I had something else that I wanted to ask you about, and then the Ed and his nonsense made me forget. Larry, what else for Corey before we say goodbye?
I'm looking at my list here. Did we talk about Boston that I didn't care
Yeah, we
about?
talked about Boston, talked about Get Glue. Oh, I know what it was. I had it written down. We mentioned your music, and you used to tour and stuff as a roadie, and you like the music. You're a big music fan. Now, I don't know if you had a chance to listen to Cousin Brandon when he's on our show, but what do you think of Cousin Brandon's taste in music?
I think I'd rather light myself on fire.
Well, that's hardly a ringing endorsement.
No, you know what? The last time he was on, I understand a lot of the indie music. A lot of people dig it. I don't. You know, there was only one band that I knew that he had on there. I think it was called Explosions in the Sky. The other stuff I can't imagine. I thought he was joking a couple times.
Yeah.
I can't imagine he likes it. It doesn't even sound good. I mean, I feel bad saying it. I feel bad saying it because I don't know Cousin Brandon other than the emails we've exchanged, but it was bad.
Oh, Cousin Brandon. No, Brandon's a great kid. Now, I hear a rumor that you may be working on a Cousin Brandon shirt.
I am. He when I was on the Edge show, he emailed me, and we exchanged a few emails, and he asked me, no rush, but if you think about, read the blog and see what you think, and try to get some ideas, and I said sure, and I read his blog and got some ideas, and then after the music episode, they started flying in. I was like, this is perfect. Because, his music taste is his music taste, but it would make a pretty funny T-shirt. So, I have a feeling that he throws that out there to get some laughs anyway. So I think that incorporating his love of indie music into a T-shirt, I think will be awesome.
And I know you're also putting some ideas together for our buddy Adam Rank as well.
Yes. They have been thinking about that probably since Dave started the new show. And I've never talked to Rank, but I can't imagine he wouldn't want a T-shirt since Dave has two of them.
Oh, no, he'd love it. No worry, he'd love it.
Right.
Yeah.
So, I have that on the list. I have quite a few things on the list. I took a couple months off.
Well, look on the bright side. Once the Ed gets there and he's living in your basement, you'll have all the free time to do it,
Well, all I need to do now, all I need to do is make them now, and then I don't have to print them anymore because I'm going to have the Ed, and he can work.
Yeah, the Ed will work night and day for you. He'll bring the baby, too, so you'll have like two workers on the payroll.
We can do child labor, and, I need the help. And I'll give them a T-shirt and a half every 2 weeks, and we'll call it even.
Yeah, so that's all he needs. Well, Cory, I can't thank you enough for coming on. And once again, everybody go to backpagepress.com. And what's the Twitter exactly, the handle? At Backpage? Is there an underscore in there somewhere?
Yeah, it's Backpage _press.
Yeah, there it is, Backpage _press. And you're on the Facebook as well, I believe, the Facebook?
I am. You can be my friend on Facebook.
Yeah, so there it is, backpagepress.com. Larry, anything else for Cory?
You make the best shirts, and I hate you for it because I always buy one. And
yeah. Larry's going to own every shirt you ever made. It's going to be great.
If it wasn't for you, they'd shut down the basement. I wouldn't even be allowed out.
All right, Cory.
I appreciate you having me on. It was a good time.
And Cory, hook me up. I want to thank you in person here. You were nice enough to send me the Bo Jackson shirt in black, which I did not have.
Right,
like
you got
a gesture of goodwill.
You got it one at a time. Yeah, I think number 7. I sent him the one of a kind Bo Jackson shirt.
Yeah, you should give out little cards, and you should punch the card every time you buy a shirt. You buy 8 or 10, you get a free shirt.
Well, if everybody was like Larry's bought the most shirts ever. I don't even think that I don't even know if I have that many. And the cool thing about that Bo Jackson shirt is my dad was supposed to get that for his birthday, and I sent it to Larry.
How about that, Larry? He stole his dad's shirt.
Nice.
How about that? Right. That's some dedication. So I had to show it to Larry. I don't think my dad deserved it anyway. So Larry got it.
Thank you. And is your dad a Red Sox fan too?
No, just me. They
All right.
Nobody really likes them except for me. It's just a personality glitch.
Now, you know I like the Yankees.
I know. Well, I complimented you on the Mattingly email before I even knew who you were. So
that's right. Yeah, that's right.
Public. Yeah, because I love Donnie baseball. So I'm not like a Red Sox fan that is gonna have some blind hatred towards New York. I certainly don't like them or A-Rod or or that 2003 series. But you gotta, if you're a Pittsburgh baseball fan, you gotta find someplace else to put your patronage.
How about a Mattingly shirt?
I've thought about it.
Here's what I'm thinking. Like, all you see is, like, it'll just be like the Yankees cap you see, eye black, and a mustache.
That's pretty good.
That would be good, but Nike did that.
Really?
Yeah, they kind of went on this whole independent artist wave, the kind of simplistic stencil design. They made one for Pop Stargell, which I bought. They got one for Mike Schmidt. They got, they like all the old 70s stars and they had like the mustache and the sideburns, really cool stuff. But they beat us to the punch on that one. It would be redundant if we made one. They'd probably sue us too.
Yeah, bastards.
Sue you, not us.
Yeah. Worried. I would blame it on you because it's your idea, though.
That's right.
I'm not taking the fall for this one. All right, guys.
Well, I can't thank you enough. And once again, everybody go to Backpage Press and buy some shirts. You'll love them.
Yeah, you got to get to work because I need more shirts. So.
Well, I'm going to making this Leahy and how do you pronounce Puck Daddy's last name? I never could pronounce it.
Wyshynski. Yeah, well, I'll send it over to you so you can look at it and spell it properly. But yeah.
Thanks, please. Send me the phonetic spelling, and I'm going to get started on this Star Wars themed shirt immediately.
That's going to be a beauty. All right. Thanks, buddy.
All right. Later, guys.
There you go. Cory Seymour, Backpage Press. Yeah, and we're not just being, idiots saying these shirts are great. No, they're the best shirts ever. Right, Larry? They're the best.
I can't even wear them because they're too nice.
Yeah, I have the same problem. I don't want to get them screwed up. So I'm worried about wearing them, yeah.
I have 8 of them, and I think I've worn 2 of them.
You just hang them on your wall and stare at them.
I just put them away. I want to lose weight before I put them on and stuff.
Yeah, please do.
It's like a wedding dress and shit.
You're 10 pounds away from your Backpage Press weight.
Yes, I got goals for this summer and what have you.
Very good. Yeah. Well, yeah, go buy Cory shirts because we want to support them. What do I value above all else? Larry? Integrity, right? Honor.
I guess.
Truthfulness, right?
I thought it was Mary Tyler Moore, but
yeah, it's true. Yeah, Mary Tyler. Ooh, Mary Tyler Moore T-shirt. I mean, but the point is, we're not going to support something we don't like, and we like Cory, and we like his shirts. So yeah, support Cory.
Obviously, he said I bought more than anyone ever.
Yeah. All right. So what else we got? We spent a long time talking to Cory and the Ed, and that's a good thing because we had nothing else planned.
Yeah, pretty much. Much.
But we did have a few other topics I wanted to get to. Just a round robin here of topics. And first, let me apologize because I haven't had a conspiracy segment in months. It seems.
Yeah, what's up with that?
I'm just very busy. I just don't have time.
Blog Talk probably took our soundbite away.
Yeah, is it still there?
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's still there.
All right, nice. So, but I'll try and get a conspiracy up here soon. But Larry, I have made time in the schedule for a very special podcast on Monday night. I'll be doing a special podcast this Monday, the 20th, at 9 o'clock, with our buddy Matthew Sikorsky, one of the founding fathers of LCS hockey. And Matthew and I will, of course, be discussing Nirvana. It'll be our second Nirvana podcast, backed by popular demand. Now, we wanted to do one back several months ago to the 20th anniversary of Nevermind and stuff, but, things happened in my life. So we had to push it back. And now we're going to come back, and I think we're going to do Matthew's top 11 Nirvana cover songs, and we're going to play like a little clip of the original song, and then we'll play the clip of the Nirvana version. So I think it'll be a nice educational experience for everyone involved. Yeah.
That is so stupid. Who wants to hear that? Honestly,
I do.
What year is this?
I do. It's 2012, and Nirvana is as great as ever. And Yeah, Matthew, I would love to do a regular Nirvana podcast with Matthew, because once again, Matthew knows everything about Nirvana, and we could break down concerts, go through the set list, song by song.
This is what it reminds me of. Two like 14-year-old girls sitting up in their room on a Friday night discussing their favorite songs and their favorite band. The only problem is this time you're making everybody else in on it. You're subjecting the rest of us on this.
That's exactly what it is. And I love it. I can't get enough.
We won't have it. I won't let even. I won't. I'll delete it as soon as it's over.
It's
I'll delete the whole episode.
Now, do you know why the 20th? We're going to do it on the 20th, Larry, because that is Kurt Cobain's birthday.
That's also my birthday.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
But when's your birthday?
My birthday is Friday, the 17th.
Of March?
Of February.
So like
2 days away, Larry. 2 days. My birthday's in 2 days.
Is it really?
Yes.
I had no idea.
Thanks.
I knew it was like in the wintry springtime. I thought it was March.
Thanks.
I didn't realize. 2 days. I'm getting you a gift.
Yeah. I need a job or a box of money. One of the two. That'd be good.
I was thinking about maybe like a Vespa.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that'll work. Right. But yeah, so my birthday is Friday, but Kurt Cobain's was Monday. Kurt, had he lived, had he not been murdered by that cold-blooded true Courtney Love, he would be 45 years old, Larry.
Oh, my God.
45 years old.
Yep.
Holy hell.
Still hating the man as he cashes in on every Unplugged in magazine spread. And
well, Courtney cashes in on it. I don't know if Kurt would. She took all the money. But, Monday night.
You know, one good thing, no Courtney Love, no Foo Fighters. So that worked out for me. Because I like the Foo Fighters. But if Courtney Love doesn't come around, the Foo Fighters never happened.
No, Nirvana was breaking up, so it would have happened either way. Yeah.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like the
so
Foo
you didn't
Fighters.
have to have Kurt murdered. They get the Foo Fighters. But, so that's Monday night, 9 o'clock, Nirvana podcast. Be there. It'll be great. But, Larry, some other things we need to talk about here. I wrote down a bunch of little topics here. Holly Marie Combs. Can we get a Holly Marie Combs update real quick?
All right. Things have died down, I would say.
Yeah.
Everything
for people who don't remember, last week we talked about Larry was embroiled in a Twitter feud with the fans of Holly Marie Combs. Not Holly Marie Combs herself, just the fans of Holly Marie Combs, who are very possessed, obsessed stalker ladies, right?
Yes.
And,
And so last week on the show, we campaigned for anybody to go on the Twitter and just say any random tweet about Holly Marie Combs. Nothing vicious. Just say, hey, maybe Holly Marie Combs isn't my favorite actress or something.
Yeah, like some people were just saying, Holly Marie Combs is a terrible actress. And they weren't directing it at Holly Marie Combs, just saying that, you know.
Yeah,
like
just
they weren't
saying
putting it.
Yeah.
Weren't sending it to her directly on Twitter. They're just saying the words. So no one.
Yeah, not hashtagging it.
No.
Nothing like that. No.
And the experiment was we wanted to see how long it would take before one of these crazy stalker fan ladies would get in contact with whoever made such a statement. Now, I Twittered live on the show last week. I think I said, Holly Marie Combs is a terrible actress or something like that. I didn't get any response at all. No one responded to me. But several of our listeners did the same thing, and the next morning, bang, they got stuff from her.
Oh, yeah. Within for a 36-hour period, the shit had hit fan. Everybody was going ape shit on Twitter about, well, not everybody, but 9 people.
Yeah.
It got pretty vicious in there for a while, and words were said, and
it was funny though. The one girl, I think her name's Megan or something. She said she was going to report Larry. She's going to report you, Larry, for not loving Holly Marie Combs as much as her, I guess. And you Twittered her back saying, well, who are you going to report me to, your stuffed animals?
Yes, exactly.
Good.
And then she came back with, I did report you to my stuffed animals and my cat.
Yeah. So, for 3 days there, it was just nonstop action of Holly Marie Combs. And then we did the switcheroo on it. We said, all right, now our buddy Major Minority said, let's switch it around and say how much we love Holly Marie Combs, just to mess with their heads. And I don't think they ever even acknowledged that, did they?
No, they were pretty much done with it by then.
Yeah, so then it's pretty much over now. But it was a magical time in history.
Yeah, it was fun for 36 hours.
Yeah. Yeah, our buddies like Street Dreamer and Pork Carrot. He had some beauties. He had real good
Craig Dodge.
Yeah, Major Minority. There's a lot of people doing it.
He was
I think even Cory tweeted something about Emery Combs, if I remember.
I'm sure he did. We had the whole world doing it.
Yeah,
now,
nice.
I don't know if you saw Adam Rank's tweet earlier tonight.
Yeah,
New
I
feud
did.
on Twitter is Michael Ian Black and the Iron Sheik. They've been going at it a little bit tonight, and it's pretty funny. I got to tell you.
It is very funny, yeah.
It's very vulgar.
Who would have thought Iron Sheik would use a Twitter machine? I want to get Iron Sheik together with the Ed. I think that would be a dynamite conversation.
Oh, I've been following the Sheik for a couple of months now.
Oh, yeah, I had no idea. But,
yeah, he's pretty good. No, I don't know if
I want
it's
the
really
Ed
him.
and Iron Sheik going back and forth with insults.
Oh, yeah, I've tried to, like, incorporate both of their names into one tweet just to see if I could get, a response, but it never worked.
Yeah. Now, Larry, have you seen any movies? We always like to talk about movies on the show. Have you seen any movies?
Yes, I did. I saw
a
few movies, a couple.
Oh, this will be good.
Well, I saw Harold and Kumar Christmas Time.
Oh, that's right. You bought a Blu-ray player.
Yeah, I bought a Blu-ray player the other day, Mike Dell. The Blu-ray.
Yeah, now this is apparently, it's been around for years, but I still don't know what it is. It's like high-definition DVDs, right?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm.
So when you're watching it, you have the high-definition TV, I imagine.
Yeah, I got a high-definition
So when you put
TV.
in this high-definition Blu-ray DVD, is it a spectacular experience?
I wouldn't say that. I mean, it's good.
Could you tell the difference between a Blu-ray DVD and a regular DVD?
I don't know. I mean, maybe a little bit. I mean, some of the time it's really evident, and other times it's you might not be able to tell too much of a difference.
Now, what did you think of the Harold and Kumar? Because you love Harold and Kumar. Nothing's funny.
I love Harold and Kumar right there.
So how was the Christmas one?
Terrible. It is terrible. I can't even begin to explain it. Dude, seriously, they're not even friends in this movie until about like the last 10 minutes or so. They don't talk. It's just so awkward and weird. Like Harold just holds, so much bitterness towards Kumar, saying that he was always getting him in trouble, so he just stopped talking to him. Apparently, this is how, the story tells you. So, Harold has his own new best friend, and Kumar's like a big loser, slacker, just sitting around getting high, and he's got his own buddy. And then, they just reluctantly get together, and it's just stupid. And at one point, there's claymation. Another point, Neil Patrick Harris does a 5-7 minute musical number, like a Christmas, cavalcade of terrible show music, with the top hat and a cane. And another thing, the problem was the movie was one of those, 3Ds, the 3D movie. So a lot of the crap is, 3D oriented, like a lot of the humor, quote unquote, eggs flying at you or, whatever, bird shit, and, a lot of the puns are 3D, and, I don't have 3D. But even the 3D wouldn't have made this movie any better. It was pretty bad, but I'll tell you what's good in it. WaffleBot. They got this thing in there called WaffleBot, and he just pops up every once in a while, and he's just this little robot, maybe R2-D2 size, and he just rolls around and he makes waffles like he's a waffle iron. He folds in half, and he always has fresh waffles with syrup and everything ready to go. And he just kind of rolls around and he just kind of makes derogatory comments about pancakes. So WaffleBot's funny, but the rest of the movie no good. I give it.
Are they wheat-free, gluten-free, vegan waffles?
Absolutely. I mean, that's what makes them hilarious. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd be right in line with that. Yeah. Now, so 1 out of 10, what'd you give it?
3.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah, that's 3.
I got news for you. All the other Harold and Kumars are terrible too, but I'm not.
No, they're not.
Nice that you finally admitted that this one's terrible.
No, the first two are great. They are great.
All right, now what else did you see?
We also we rented Fast 5.
Fast 5.
The Rock and the Paul Walker.
The Fast and the Furious movie series.
Yeah, the Fast and the Furious 5. Now, I only got this because The Rock's in it. You
want to have sex with The Rock, basically.
I don't know if I want to have sex with The Rock, but I would like to high-five The Rock one time. Be like, yeah, Rock. Yeah, that'd be cool. But, yeah, it's just the same old crap like Paul Walker in the first movie, because I didn't see 2, 3, or 4. I saw the first one, but I didn't see any of the other ones. But, like in the first movie, Paul Walker was a cop chasing Vin Diesel, who was they were hijacking something or another, and they were hijacking cars and what have you. But now, by the time the fifth movie rolls around, MacDowell, Paul Walker's now teaming up with Vin Diesel. He's a fugitive too. Do you see this plot twist?
No.
Wow, look at that. Paul Walker has turned to the dark side of the Force in this new Fast and Furious movie, and The Rock is now chasing them.
Oh.
Yeah. So now, like, they're driving around, they're doing all their fancy car stuff, and, The Rock shows up about half hour, 40 minutes into it, and he's like, what the hell, yada, yada, yada. And he's like, he punches this guy and slaps another guy. And then Paul Walker and Vin Diesel, they're driving their cars around, they're doing all that kind of shit. And then, like, about an hour into it, I just turned it off. It was terrible. Just so boring. Nothing was happening. I hated it.
Yet they've made 5 of those films.
5. Yeah, they made 5. Yeah. 6 is on the way, by the way.
Ugh.
Yeah, because apparently 5 was their number, like their most money making of the bunch. You put The Rock in a movie, you got money. You got mad money, Mike Dell.
Yeah.
You don't mess with The Rock at the box office.
You going to go see Mystery Island?
See it again, you mean?
Yeah. All right. So what would you give Fast and the 5? And
I don't know. 1. I turned it
1.
off. That Jordana Brewster's in it.
Oh, all right. Well, that's
Yeah, you know who I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, she was in the first movie. She's back in it. She's looking fine, Mr. Kata. So yeah, maybe 2 for her. Let's give her.
Yeah, her
2.
and The Rock. There are your 2 points. All right.
Yeah,
anything else?
Thanks. We rented Final Destination 5. It was a 5-peat over here over the weekend.
Yeah.
But yeah, with the Blu-ray, we just rented some Blu-rays, and that was all I could get. But Final Destination 5, I once again, terrible. 3, I fell asleep many times during it. Just kind of boring, same shit. Once again, another one of them 3D movies that really, really focus on the 3D as being part of, the whole experience. Well, fuck the script and plot and whatnot. We'll just throw a baseball at them, and they'll forget about how shitty the movie is. Yeah, something like that.
So yeah, like a 2 or 3.
Yeah, 2 or 3.
Right.
But yeah, you know what I like about the Blu-ray, Mike Dell, is now I can watch Netflix again. I couldn't.
Oh yeah, you can hook it up to your TV machine and watch the Netflix. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what have you been watching on Netflix?
We watched a movie on there. It was called Grave Encounters.
Grave Encounters.
Yeah, it was like a scary movie. And you know that one show on, I don't know what, it's one of them ghost shows, but it's like them 2 or 3 like frat douchey kind of guys.
Yeah, I think it's like Ghost Adventures or something on Travel.
Yes, I think that's what it is called. Well, this movie's kind of based on that show. There's a couple douchey guys. They're filming this reality show, and they're inside. I think it's some sort of like old mental hospital, and they get locked in for the night. They chain the doors like they do in that douchey show, and they start seeing ghosts and whatnot. But I got to tell you, for like an independent Blair Witchy kind of style filming, where you're seeing the first person camera or whatever, however you want to describe it. For one of those kind of independent, low-budget ones, it was actually not bad. I mean, it wasn't great by any means, but it was like a 5 or 6.
Wow.
So Grave Encounters, if you got nothing else to watch on Netflix, it's free.
Now, have you been watching any of The League on Netflix?
Well, I've seen all the episodes on there.
Oh, okay.
I got to get that 3rd season on. When they put the 3rd season on, then I'll watch that.
I watched the movie on Netflix this week, The Woman in the Window. I think Edward G. Robinson, like 1945.
Wow. Was that a talkie?
Yeah, it was a talkie.
Okay, great.
It was all right. Like, it's 5. The ending's really dumb.
Really?
Yeah.
What year is that, 45?
Around there, I'd say, 45 or so.
Now, Isn't even like on your scale, just being in 1945, doesn't that automatically start you at 7?
Yeah, it pretty much gets you the first 5. You got to earn the rest. No, yeah, 5 or 6 maybe. Yeah, it's just not that. It's not that good. Like I said, the ending.
Not that good.
I don't want to get in because I know everyone's going to run to Netflix and watch this. I don't want to ruin it for you, but it's not that good. Yeah. All right. TV related, Larry. I know you watched Saturday Night Live recently with Zooey Deschanel, and you were smitten. Not with Zooey Deschanel, but with another young lady on that show.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, tell the people.
Yeah. There was a band on there called Carmen.
Yeah, I don't even know if I call them a band. It's more like
they're a singing
experiment
troupe.
Yeah,
a group. Now, basically, what happened was these two just kind of like got notoriety and fame on YouTube from like just doing cover songs in their apartment or whatever.
Yeah, cover songs of like oddly like. Well, we should mention it's a 2-piece. It's a dude and his lady, and they're engaged, Larry. They're engaged.
No, like there's no way. That dude is so gay. He is so obviously gay.
Yeah. Well, they're apparently engaged. They went to a theater or music school together or something. I don't know. They're in like their mid-20s. I think she's like 26 or 27 maybe. I don't know. But I forget her name. What's her name?
Amy Heidman?
Amy something. But yeah, she's an attractive lady. And their singing style. He plays the keyboard and she sings.
Yeah.
And
she plays the guitar.
How would you describe the style of the band?
Well, if you're talking about their original material, they're really a 80s throwback, the synthesizer-y kind of bubblegummy syntho punk music, but they throw in a little bit of hip-hop rappy sound to it, too.
Yeah, she's quite the rapper. I'll give her that. But yeah, they covered songs like you wouldn't expect a band like them to cover, like all these rap hip-hop songs, and they would cover them.
Yeah.
But I think I described their sound over there on the damashik.com boards. It reminds me of the music you hear when they're rolling the credits of every 80s movie ever.
I hear you. It's very 80s. There's a very 80s heavy theme to it.
Yeah. And she's very theatrical in her movements. She's always got a big smile and big eyes and like, hey, look at me, I'm singing. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I think happened here? Because these two are like theater kids.
Yes, they are. And I think our buddy Tom Cunningham pointed that out on the message boards when we were talking about her. He said that she might be a little too theater kid for him, and I think that's a very good point. Yeah.
Now here's my theory as to what happened. I think maybe, I think what happened. Maybe they wanted to be like Broadway kind of stars, and maybe her voice just isn't that strong for that sort of venue, so maybe this is what they turn to, and whatever, they know she can rap and she can sing a little bit, and like I think they just knew that's the only way they're going to make it. We got to do something niche-y and goofy and weird, and we're like No Doubt's retarded little sister, the little baby kid No Doubt. Is kind of what everybody's comparing them to or whatever, because she kind of does that rap and she has the b-boy stance and all that. But if you watch her just sing, like on their videos, she can just sing. She's not usually like, even when they she's doing her rappy songs when they're just sitting in the apartment, she's not all spreading her legs and squatting and b-boy stancing and all that sort of thing. She just kind of does it. I think that was all for Saturday Night Live. And I got to also say, like, I thought, like, I didn't think she sounded all that great, like, on Saturday Night Live. Like, she sounded way better before. She was probably pretty nervous as well. Because she's actually
I thought she did a fine job on Saturday Night Live, and she's very attractive. And she seems a natural performer, but maybe a little too theater kiddie.
But I like it. I like the fact that she smiles a lot because she has a nice face.
Yeah, I would never buy the music or listen to the music, but, they're different.
I like it.
So,
Fun.
God bless them. That's Carmen with a K. And an I.
Yeah.
And an I.
And what do you think? That guy's gay.
I'll be honest, I wasn't looking at the guy, so I didn't care. But now, Larry, we only got 1 minute left on the live show, and I've gotten complaints recently from people who listen to the live show, and they say you never pay attention when the live show is ending, and you should at least warn us that you're going to end. You just end mid-sentence, And,
37 seconds.
So the live broadcast will end in 37 seconds. Yeah. There you go.
Who's complaining? Anybody?
The clergy, orphans.
The fuck the orphans. This is all free.
Yeah,
all right, so what do we got left? 19,
well,
18.
I got a couple other TV shows we need to talk about.
Right,
real
12.
Quick, did you see the Sports Illustrated swimsuit issue came out on the cover?
I did see that. Yeah.
What do you
Kate
think of Kate Upton? Yeah.
3 seconds, 2, 1. She's all right.
Yeah, she's
I
all
hear
right.
she's dating Mark Sanchez now.
Well, that's good. NFL quarterback, kind of. She's only like 19.
Yeah, she's got nice cans.
Yeah. Yes, she does. Yeah.
Those are natural, I think.
Oh, yeah. So, all right, so the Kate Upton, I guess that's a thumbs up on that. TV shows, we mentioned earlier with Cory Ink Masters. I saw an Ink Masters marathon the other day. Oh, it was just wonderful. I loved it. Yeah. I think they're down to 4 or 5. Yeah.
Oh, I was going to say they're not done yet.
No, I think they're down to like 4 or 5 people. And
they have a big live tattoo finale
in front
of like
I don't know how they're going to end it.
Yeah.
But for the people who haven't heard us talk about it before, it's basically Top Chef with tattoos. They just tattoo, and they get live people to come in and they tattoo them. So even if I don't know where they find these people, but because some of these tattoos they're doing not that great, and now these people are stuck with them. It's very, very unusual.
Has anybody ever came in and asked for a tattoo of a creme brulee?
No, not yet. Nope.
Should.
But
or pecan
no,
pie.
one episode, Larry, in order to, like, they do a little challenge at the beginning of the show, and then the winner gets an advantage in the elimination challenge at the end, just like Top Chef. So the thing in the little challenge they did at the top of the show, they brought out like these ladies who are naked except for white body paint.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah, it was impressive. And they all just stood there and like a blank canvas, and then they had to, with an airbrush or paintbrushes and stuff, they had to paint like a tattoo on them and to highlight like shading, to show that they can really blend black and grays to really do shading. And it was interesting. But anytime you can see a bunch of naked ladies painted white, sign me up. And then
you're hooked. You're already signed up.
Yeah. And then this past episode I saw for the little flash challenge at the beginning of the show, they had to tattoo the prosthetic legs of amputees.
Oh, man, the stumps?
No, the prosthetic legs.
The prosthetic part.
They wanted to, like, liven up the prosthetic, so they didn't tattoo with the needle. They, like, painted them up,
Oh, they
But
painted it?
It was very unusual because these artists, these tattoo artists, were, like, very concerned. They were so nervous about painting a prosthetic limb, because, these are expensive, these things, of course, but they're like, I don't want to screw this up. But I'm thinking in my head, yeah, but you screw it up, you can take the paint off, get a new leg, whatever. You tattoo people's body parts every day. You don't ever get used to a certain skill in tattooing. Or in a different style of tattoo you have to do. It's really a fascinating show. I love it. Yeah.
Now, there's never been flames. Like, was there a flames week?
Not like a week, but yeah, people have put flames in the tattoos. Like one week there's photorealism, American traditional, black and white. I don't know. I can't remember, but yeah.
What do you remember? What episode was Spiderweb on the elbow?
No spiderwebs on the elbow yet, but they did a beveled star on the elbow, and apparently tattooing on the elbows and knees, tough. They don't like to do it, tattoo artists, because the skin is just, crazy on the elbows and knees. They don't like it.
Yeah, I gotcha. Yeah, I see what you're saying. All right.
But, so that's Ink Masters. Once again, it's on Spike. I'd recommend it. It's fascinating. I can't get enough of it. It's just so goofy and bizarre that I love it. And then, another show on History Channel I saw. I didn't see the whole episode. I just saw about 20 minutes of it. I think it's called Full Metal Jousting. Is that what the
title is? I didn't see it, but I know what show you're talking about.
This is like real live dudes who apparently, Larry, jousting is a thing. Like it didn't go out with King Arthur. It's still a thing, and people compete to win national championships in jousting. So this show is another reality show, once again, like a Top Chef or something, where they compete to see who the best jouster is. And they get on horses, they wear actual suits of armor, like 90-pound, 100-pound suits of armor, and they have the real lances, and they go in and bang, they run passes at each other and try to knock each other off their horse and stuff. Yeah.
Now, couldn't you, like, pretty much just film this whole season in, like, 30 minutes?
Well,
You get 16 guys out there, boom, you're down to, like, 2 guys in, like, 5 minutes.
They do, like, competitions. Like I said, I only saw, like, the final 15, 20 minutes. And then, like, 2 people at the end of the show compete for elimination. And then the guy that loses goes home. It's like the Ultimate Fighter, I guess.
Oh, so there's only one joust per episode, basically.
Yeah, but it's really interesting because it's like, why are these people That's what I want to know. Why are you jousting? You know?
Yeah.
Because you think they would die. It would seem to be very dangerous to me to fall off a horse in a 100-pound suit of armor. And but, because I don't know, you lay on your head, you're probably screwed, right?
I would think so.
Yeah, your neck's
That's a lot of weight coming down on your neck and shit.
Yeah. But they don't seem to be concerned about it. And
I was watching Pawn Stars on the DVR tonight, and after the episode ended, it taped like the first minute or so of the Full Metal jousting. And it's 2 guys running at each other. They both bash each other with a big stick, and they both just go flying through the air. That's all I saw was just, boom, sticks went flying, guys went flying, horses went flying, the castle went flying, everything was flying in the air.
Yeah, oddly enough, they don't always fall down when they get hit with these things. A lot of times the lances break, or sometimes they just bounce off and they keep going. But, yeah.
What are they made out of?
Wood, I think it seems to be wood, some sort of wood. I can't tell you what. Yeah, they're not like steel lances or anything.
They should make them out of cotton candy.
Yeah, that'd be nice. I'd like to see that. So Full Metal Jousting, I can't give you a full review, but I'll try and watch it again because it's so bizarre. And you mentioned Pawn Stars. Here's an experience I had with Pawn Stars the other day, Larry. Someone brought in something that I own on Pawn Stars.
What?
That's pretty cool, though, right? You see someone bring in something you own.
Well, it depends on what it is. If it's that gay porn one, then no.
No, it was some kid brought in a plastic Spuds MacKenzie light, a lamp. Remember?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, my old man got it years ago, so we have it, and it's a Spuds MacKenzie big plastic dog. Now, the one we own as a family doesn't light up. Yeah. But there's a hole in the bottom where you could put a lamp in there and rig it up. So the kid came in and he wanted to get $100 out of Rick for his Spuds MacKenzie lamp. And
what did he get?
He got $40.
$40. So what would you get? Probably $15.
Yeah, but that means Rick thinks he can sell it for $80. So.
Yeah. Now let me ask you this: why don't you ever cry the blues when Rick turns around and just jacks somebody off? You think it's great? Rick's bad.
You're still bitter that I always make fun of American pickers? They're like
when
most
Pickers
awful
does
people.
they're raping the elderly. They might as well just
American Pickers, they travel the countryside looking to fleece the elderly. That's what they do.
No,
and they get there in their little van. And sometimes when the elderly person if they're not confused enough by what's happening to them, they'll drug them. They will drug them right there on the TV.
Well, what's more pathetic, like driving around fleecing, or just having them come to you and fleece them? Like just knowing that they'll sell cheap to you just so they could be on your TV show and say, "Oh yeah, I sold to them. I'll be on the episode coming up here."
That's a good point. Oh, but I forgot about this show I saw. I think it's also on. I don't even know what channel it's on. We'll say I don't know, A&E History Channel. I don't know what the hell. But it's like Pawn Stars, except it's for comic books, and it's your buddy Kevin Smith. It's his show.
Yeah, Comic Book Man.
Yeah, and it's his store, I guess, Jay and Silent Bob's or whatever. He owns his comic book store. And so his employees that run it, and then he, does little sit-downs with them, interviewing and stuff between scenes. And I caught, the final 20 minutes of that, and I enjoy that just because I love comic books, and it's the guy seemed nice enough. So, yeah, I'll watch that if I ever see that. I don't like Kevin Smith, but I'll watch that if I see it again.
Yeah, I wanted to see it. I think it just debuted last week. I was looking at it in the Entertainment Weekly. But yeah, I know the picture they had in the magazine was the guy from Mallrats is the one guy that works at the store, I guess. When they were waiting. Remember when they were waiting in line for Stan Lee, and he's like, "Tell him, Steve Dave." Remember that guy? Tell him, Steve Dave.
No, I can't remember.
And then Jason Lee's like, "Shut up, fanboy." I don't know. And they get into a big fight, and then the
I don't know Mallrats quite as well as you, but
Well, anyways, it's that guy.
Yeah, he seems like a nice guy. Like everyone there, I could hang out with them or whatever, listen and talk about comic books. But yeah, it's kind of the same thing as Pawn Stars. People bring stuff in, and then they try and get it for 50%. That's about it.
Really? Oh, it's like that. No, how much of Kevin Smith was in this?
Like I said, I didn't see too much of it, but he wouldn't be in the store. Like they would cut to like a studio, like they're recording a podcast or something. They'd all be sitting around, and he'd ask them questions, and they'd discuss things.
Oh yeah. Okay, I see. Yeah, he does have. He has. I think his is called Schmodcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, Schmodcast. Yeah.
So there you go.
He's probably actually got money and shit.
Yeah, listeners. Oh, but the big show I want to talk about, we've already run very long, Larry. Are you okay, or do we have to wrap up, or are you all right?
We can go.
Because I got to talk about the show called Excused.
Oh, yeah, what's this?
It's a dating show, and it's from the makers of Blind Date. Do you remember Blind Date?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, this one, it's called Excused, and the host is a lady named Liza Schlesinger, I think. Excuse me, I'm choking. Liza Schlesinger. Apparently she won Last Comic Standing.
Oh, God, she's got to be unfunny then. Liza.
She's not funny. Oh, no, she's pretty good. I don't know.
I'm going to look her up right now.
But so here's how this show works. They're in this house.
Oh, I'd hit that.
Yeah, she's an attractive lady, and she's also, I think she's genuinely funny.
All right.
She's like a smartass, you know? So she's in this house, this big fancy house, and she's in there with either two ladies or two dudes. And then a bunch of other ladies, you know, like, for the point of this demonstration, we'll say she's in there with two ladies. So then four dudes will come, or not four dudes, but a whole stream of dudes will come to the door of the house, and they'll look up at this security camera, and they'll make their little pitch, like why they should get in the house. And if the ladies think, oh, well, that guy's a handsome fellow, let's let him in, they let him in. And they can pick four guys to come in the house. But if, you know, they're kind of goofy, not looking so good, you know, annoying, then they excuse them. That's where the title comes from. You're excused. And Liza usually cracks some joke and says, you're excused, and sends them on their way, you know. So once they get the four people in, then they look at these profiles they did, these video profiles they did, and the ladies and Liza, they watch these profiles, and then the guys all sit around getting drunk downstairs in the kitchen. And then they say they eliminate two more right there. And once again, Liza comes on, she makes a joke, sends them on their way. They're excused. They have to leave the house. So then once they get to two ladies and two dudes, they go out on dates. And then they alternate dates, you know, after so while. So they each get a date with each person. Then they come back to the house. The two ladies say which guy they want to kick out. So we're left with one dude, two ladies. You following me, Larry?
Not really, but okay.
Yeah, one guy left and two ladies. Now, here's what happens. They do the old switcheroo. Now the guy has the power. And they go out on another date where it's the one dude and the two ladies. And he gets to decide who goes home next. So then he kicks out one of the ladies. So they're left with a dude and a lady. And then at the end, the dude has to go out in the back porch or the patio, and his lady that he picked to, you know, stay in the house, she might be there or she might not. See?
What, she might leave?
Yeah, or he goes back there and there's no one there. He realizes, oh, I messed up. I picked the wrong lady because she just excused him. It's a switcheroo. It's a double switcheroo.
Wow.
Yeah. Power goes from the ladies to the dude back to the lady. See? Yeah.
This sounds
it's called
terrible.
Oh yeah, it's an awful show because they get these people like what's the problem with every game show? They just get these zany people involved, you know. So they get zany people in these shows, and you know they're just actors or you know whatever. But yeah, it's just if you like really awful, awkward dating shows, oh, this is great. It brings back memories of Blind Date. What are some of the other dating shows, Larry, that have been on TV?
Love Connection.
Love Connection. Remember back the match game or the dating game, of course.
The dating game.
But remember Studs? Remember Studs back in the day?
No, I don't remember Studs.
Wow, you don't remember Studs? All right, I think it was on MTV or something. I don't know. What was that one with Jenny McCarthy and Chris Hardwick? What was that one?
Yeah.
It made Jenny McCarthy a star.
Singles?
I don't know. But yeah, in the it's like the newest entry into that genre, Excused, and it's on right here locally. It's on like at 11, and then it's on at midnight again. They show it. It's on like the local Pittsburgh channel. But
oh, really?
Yeah, it's syndicated. But yeah, if you like really awkward, goofy TV, yeah, Excused.
Huh.
Give it a whirl.
All right.
Yeah.
I probably won't.
Yeah, I wouldn't recommend it, but yeah, Excused.
Yeah. Now, why are you watching this?
It's fascinating. I can't get enough of it. I'm hooked. Yeah, I'm hooked.
What else we got? Anything? Or?
I think that's it. Yeah.
Hey, we're at the end of the show here. I'm going to play Pittsburgh Dad. Have you ever seen Pittsburgh Dad?
No, I haven't.
No. Well, Pittsburgh Dad, 18 the Lax, I think, is where I saw he posted something about Pittsburgh Dad. It's just this guy who's like just basically doing an impression of his dad, but he kind of talks like a Pittsburgher with all the little, nuances and slogans, sayings that Pittsburghers have. And maybe if you're not a Pittsburgher, you don't appreciate it as much, but it's actually like pretty damn funny. So there's a whole slew of these over on the YouTube if you YouTube up Pittsburgh Dad. So right after we play the Brass Bonanza, I got a clip. My favorite Pittsburgh Dad is when he's trying to explain to his friend Pete. You never hear Pete's voice, but he's just explaining to Pete what Twilight is. Apparently the wife and the kids made him sit through Twilight, so he's going to explain to Pete exactly what's going on in the film Twilight.
Yeah, I'll look forward to that.
Yeah, it's actually, he's pretty funny, Pittsburgh Dad. Yeah, so you got to check him out on YouTube, Mike Dell. Maybe we could get him on the show.
Sure. Yeah, we could try that, I guess.
Yeah. Don't you want to talk to Pittsburgh Dad?
No, not really.
And that?
No.
Yins?
Yins guys.
Worse. I got a worse clothes.
Maybe we'll try and get, it's almost time for Adam Rank to return to the show, right? Maybe we'll get Rank on.
What are we going to do with Rank?
Well, we could get his Super Bowl stories. He was down at the Super Bowl,
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Think he went buck wild like when the wife wasn't around?
Oh, maybe. I don't know.
I'd be training all over the place.
Or, I don't know. Who else were we going to get on the show? What other guest ideas? We had a bunch of ideas. Oh, you wanted to get that Giannotti kid, that Pittsburgh kid?
Yeah, Greg Giannotti. We got to get him at some point. John Hamm.
Yeah.
Steve Wilton.
Yeah, who apparently gave us the hi-hat because he went to a party. He wasn't actually sick.
I don't know what's going on yet.
Yeah, so we got to get him on the show too. Yeah.
I got to tell you something about that later on.
Oh, all right. So that's next week. Someone will be here, but we got to thank Cory Seymour from Backpage Press. Once again, backpagepress.com, best T-shirts around.
They really are the best T-shirts. They're just made on the best material.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
And got to thank the Ed show tomorrow, 10 o'clock. I don't know what we're talking about. I'm sure it'll be hilarious.
Nothing.
Yeah. And then security guy Irv. Irv was nice enough to invite me on the show this week, and I enjoyed it.
Yeah, you guys talk wrestling, and you talk some UFC because he almost got into a fight with Rampage Jackson.
Yeah, that's great. He was terrified.
Yeah. That's what he keeps saying. So, you could download that. That was yesterday if you want to hear what happened when Quentin Rampage Jackson decided he wanted a picture that security guy Irv had. What happened? Tune in.
Yeah.
And, the Ed Show and Vertically Striped Radio, Mike Dell, Saturday, 5:30. And then the No Name Show is on Sundays at some point.
And then the Nirvana Show on Monday. So we got a full week of broadcasting here on the LCS Hockey Network.
That is terrible, terrible news.
Yeah.
Why Monday?
It's Kurt's birthday. Weren't you here for that?
Oh, that's right. I don't know. I zone out when you start talking about Nirvana, I'll be honest with you. All right.
Well, I'll see if Matthew wants to do a Carmen
podcast.
Yeah.
What?
I'll see if Matthew wants to do a Carmen podcast.
Yes. Yeah.
Tune in.
Would be good. Give me that super bass, super bass, super bass, super bass.
Wow.
All right. You know what I should get? I should write to them and see maybe if they want to cover my Madman song.
No. Please don't do that.
All right. Next week we'll be back. Until then. Oh, once again, Backpage Press. Get the at T-shirt. I'm telling you, you won't be disappointed. All right. We'll be back next week. Until then, Pastor Jin, Governor.
Hey, Pete. So last night, Deb and them girls made me watch that Twilight movie. Oh, I tell you, I never prayed so hard for a stroke in all my life. This new girl comes to school, right? She starts hanging out with these pale kids. Look like them kids that hang out down in front of Kogo's that smoke cigarettes. But then there's this one freak she likes in particular. Now it turns out he's a vampire, and he eats people. I says, don't this town have a good wing place? So I'm thinking, all right, he's a vampire. Shouldn't we kill him? No. She falls in love with him. I says, why is this vampire hanging out with teenage girls anyway? You never saw Grandpa Munster hanging out with any teenage girls? Not that we know of. He's always down in that meth lab in the Munster cellar, blowing things up. No. Twilight vampires can go out in the sun. It don't kill them. They just sparkle. I says, who ever heard of a twinkling vampire? I never seen Count Chocula twinkling. His only ability was to rot your teeth. No, Edward can't turn into a bat. He hot rods it around town in this little Volvo. Because apparently Dracula's going green. Oh, I was just hoping Smokey and a bandit come out and run him right off the road. So then the vampire and the little girl hop out the window, fly through the forest, and climb the top of a tree. Deb says it's romantic. I says, I'll put you on top of a tree. So the other guy, this Jacob guy in the movie, he's a good kid, you know. He's fixing things. He's a nice young man. She wants to go with Mr. Sparkles. So then the vampires are playing baseball or going to prom. There's this black vampire who looks like Bob Marley. I said, ain't anyone going to throw garlic on anybody. So I'm dozing off. But the girls keep waking me up because apparently it gets better. Then these Indian boys are running around. I says, where the hell are all their shirts at? Ain't there pennies in this town? Then the Indian boys start turning into wolves. I was half expecting the dad to turn into a Frankenstein. And then the wolves are fighting the vampires over the girl. And Deb turns to me, she says, what team would you like to be on? Team Edward or Team Jacob? I says, how about Team Normal? And they tell me I gotta see the next one because there's a vampire baby. Survey says,
Thank you very much.